Tonight, we bring you this week's Flight Sim news, the FSExpo recap, PMDG's 777, because no one else has shown it. We have a T6A Advance, and also the UH-1H Huey, baby. Hello? Hello. Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week. Welcome to the news. It is the hump day for the midweek shuffle. You're all very welcome in. And yeah, it's brilliant. Well, it's we're back, not missing the warm weather at all. And, well, that was a week, wasn't it? Right? All sorts of crazy things happened while I was away over in the United States of America, and I have to say it was absolutely brilliant. So tonight it's a full recap based on, well, the last couple of days at FlightSim but we also catch up with all the news. You see, there's lots of news. Ridiculous amount of news, right? I mean, where do we start? Well, we'll start at the beginning. And of course, well, tonight we will be checking out, hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't break, a couple of aircraft, including PMDG's 777, just released. We also have the new Blackbird simulations with the Jesus, the T6A. And of course, Tag's Hangar have lashed out their brand new UH-1H Huey. Right, there's aircraft coming out in years, lads, and it's brilliant. There's also an absolute ton of news, and well, as I said at the end,
allow myself to introduce
Jesus
myself.
At the end of FlightSim just to echo it again, Gibbo Ireland was keeping the show on the road, and we're going to be chatting to Gibbo here now in a couple of moments to see what it was like on his side, and not having to be politically correct whilst representing the brand whilst live streaming, because I imagine some of the stuff he saw, he was probably sitting there going, there's going to be some bad language. Right, so we'll look at this big eater. we'll get the story from Gibbo now in a minute. But I've missed it. Right, I mean, even though I was across the way, being away from kind of the setup and being able to just do this, I love this. What else would I be doing, sure? But we'll start off the night with important news. Yes, breaking news. In fact, literally breaking news. I was driving home today, I went back into work today. I'm not jet lagged, you're jet lagged. I was jaded, right? And I said to myself, right, we'll drive the car in, and that was grand, right? And I had planned to get the car serviced today, the Skoda, in for a service prior to my departure to France at the end of the month. So I got the car serviced, lovely jubbly, and proceeded to drive home. Then, friends, to my sheer and utter horror, I got this notification on the dashboard stating that the tyre pressure indicator failed, the feckin' ABS failed, the feckin' electronic control stability thing failed, the automatic parking brake failed, a whole load of electrical failures. You can imagine the words I used. I won't repeat them here, but they sounded like, well, right. So that's where I'm at. So oh no. So the car's to go back into the garage tomorrow to hopefully get itself sorted out. And I wouldn't mind. I didn't touch the thing in the week. It stayed here. My dad brought me down to Shannon on Wednesday. And I said, do you want to take the Skoda? He goes, no, I'll take it. You know, he preferred his own car. So we went in his car. So I was like, that's grand. Sure, the Skoda can just like relax, you know, take a week off, you know, put your feet up. It'll be grand. And today is the first day I drove it. And then the thing is shagged. It could be low battery. That's what I reckon, David Bay. I hope that's all it is. But usually you get a warning to state it is a low battery. Do you know what I mean? And, well, I don't think it was. Well, right. Say a prayer. You know, think positive thoughts. Speaking of positive thoughts, and they're not terribly positive at all. You know your man, I always say, again with the negative waves, Donald Sutherland passed away. That was very sad. Micheál Mother Hartwig also passed away. Jesus, lads, an awful lot of stuff happening in the world. Do you know? But anyway, apart from that, it is great to be back with all of you guys. Hope you had a great couple of days. And again, massive shout out to Gibbo for keeping the show on the road. And Expo was brilliant. I'll be chatting about it now in a while. Just all the folks I got to meet up with and the general kind of acting the maggot and, you know, come on 17 and all that. But before we even start there, well, it's time to ramble into the chat. Welcome everyone in because you're all looking fantastic. I mean, look, you arrived here in your Sunday best on a Wednesday, right? So Airlock Doc is in the house. Good to see you, man. Willow How Much is here. Super Typhon. Welcome back. It's Mallethead Air. Thank you. Also, SK Sun is in the house. Good to see you. Fierce Wolf looking fierce and wolfy. Night Zepp is in the house. Welcome aboard. Zythi is here. The lovely Kaharia has rumbled in. Hope you're well. Now let me see. Super Ty, 30 streams, man. Jesus. Unbelievably cool. Thank you very much indeed. PH Roy is in the house, subscribing at a tier 1 for 3 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. The absolute ledge. Now, let me see. Elf is here. How are you, Elf? Onboard Simulations rambles in, along with Jan Drace. 'Tis the news day. Indeed, it is. There's so much news, right? I even got a new pair of socks. Right, do you know? And what else? No, that's about it. A new pair of socks have arrived. B. Carlo, good to see you. Spitfire RAF 100 has subscribed for 40 months, dude. Thank you very, very much indeed. Hope you're well, man. Kanzui is here, bursts in the door, and he has subscribed for 32 months. God almighty, the subscriptions. Thank you very much. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH, man. Hope all is well. Bell Bro is in the house. He says, look who we have here again. Mr. Two-Tone. What a bunch of great streams you and Gibbo got together. Kudos to you guys. Kudos to you, man. And yeah, give it a... He played a stormer, didn't he? Bill Barrett is here. Bill, great meeting you over at Expo. Hope you're keeping well, my dude. And you're very welcome in. Mr. 90 is here. Happy Wednesday. Tritz4 says, welcome home, Murph. I can't tell what a wonderful job Gibbo did while you were off hooching it in the foreign parts. Right, yeah, brilliant. Do you know, I did Gibbo did the heavy lift and I just looked good, you know. Yeah, look at me on me holidays and, you know, well, you know, it was brilliant though, brilliant. Now let me see, Assidious is here, good to see you. The man, myth and legend himself. Some say he put $1 on a slot machine and won over $100. Moments after saying to me, come on Murph, sure we'll just bet on one. And I was like, I need to go to bed. On the way to bed, Jefferson went over to a slot machine, put in $1 and won himself $100. I was raging, but also very happy. Jefferson, it is great to see you, my guy, and you're still there, you divil. You're on the bus to the terminal to catch your flight back home. Did you get your car charged? Jefferson rented the car, right? Greta would have been so proud of him. It was an electric car. Brilliant, right? But anyway, Canoe Head, he says, back to normal times equals good times. For relaxing times, make it Centauri times. Good to see you, Canoe Head. Speaking of heads, look at the head in it. Look, I need a haircut or something. The sun got to it, you know. It's grand, I'm okay with it. But anyway, Fort Noob is in the house. Good to see you, Fort. How are things? Muse Van bursts in the door with his elbow. He says, Asher, how he is, yous mad jokes, yous. Happy hump day. It's great to see you, Muse. Well, Murph, wait till Murph finds out what Gibbo did to his PC. Oh, Jesus. I don't know what. Black Ice Gabe is here. We have a Black Ice Gabe. Gabe is a tier 3 for 35 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. That's insane generosity. Insane generosity. Thank you very much indeed. See you later is here. Welcome home, he says. Sure hope you're not working tomorrow. I'm working today. Today, right? I fell asleep today in the office 3 times. Don't tell my employer. And I'm not messing, right? Can you see this on my lip? I'll show you what I did, right? Do you see that mark in my lip?
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
But you know what I did? Do you know what I did? So there I was, right, like this earlier on, doing me a bit of work. You know, you have the mouse and you're doing your work, right? And I fell asleep, moving the mouse. And whatever happened, the face slid off me. The face slid off me hand. Jesus. The face slid off my hand, and I woke up before I actually bashed my face off the thing, but in doing so I stabbed myself with my finger into my own lip. So it was one of these, and now I have a big fat lip and I look like an idiot, and it was terribly sore, and I have a mark on my lip now. Right? I'm not jet lagged at all. But anyway, quick, change the subject abruptly. I've music over here, look. Ah yes, play a bit of this. Turn it up there now, Betsy. Right, but anyway, Fort Noob, you absolute mad devil, gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. 40 absolute legend. Thank you very much indeed. If you just received a tier 1 subscription from Fort Noob, well, do be sure to say thank you. Awesome to see you. Cy Murray is here. He goes, yo, 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 chat, and a big welcome back, Murph. Happy hump day. And to you, Cy. Hope all is well, man. David Bay is in the house. He says, evening all. Gosh, it's a hot one in southeast England. Yeah, it's kind of, right. It's warm here, I'll give you that. But it was like 42 to 44 degrees over in place. Right? Do you know when you open an oven, turn it on first and like make sure it's warm, and then you open it, you know the woof. That was Las Vegas the entire time. Absolutely bananas. But yes, it was very warm. Not as warm here now, so we're grand. It's absolutely fine, right? But anyway, who else is here? Hemmingbird, subscribing at tier 2 for 11 months. She says, I got really annoyed when I saw
Can I get a refund?
No, when I saw 2 dogs doing their business on my lawn. So I turned off their Wi-Fi and hid their fax machine. I got it now. Happy hump day and return of the Murph day. Hemmingbird, thank you very, very much indeed. I just got that. That's brilliant. Business, right, we'll get there. Mick Ham, good to see you. Martel is in the house. 34 months with a tier 1. You absolute... Oh, I'm not pressing the button. You mad devil, you. Thank you very much indeed. Soaring AJ. AJH, man. You're very welcome aboard. Now, we're over here, look. Chalks. I did have a fiver on you not making it back, Murph. But I'm glad to see you all the same. Thank you, Chalks. Gibbo Ireland is here in the chat.
Big 10-4, good buddy.
He says, hey, folks, the boss is back. Sketch. Do you remember Sketch? Brilliant. Quick, there's someone coming. Sketch. Gibbo, great to see you, my guy. We'll be chatting to you now here in a moment. Raptor is here. Good to see you, man. Filthy is in the house. He says, welcome back and thanks for the gifted sub to Okando. So, a lot of me time revolved with, we had earphones, Murph. So we had Adam the Elder, we had Jeppis in 2001, and we had Okando, and amongst others, there was a big group of us hanging around the place trying to either stay out of trouble or get ourselves into trouble. I don't know what it was, but the crack was 90, and Kando's he's a scream, right? Great fun, and we'll have some stories no doubt later on. He learned what I can do with sunglasses, right? The secret is out, lads. And maybe more on that later. Echo Charlie, good to see you. Hope all is well. Willow How Much says, Gibbo, you didn't realise Murph had promoted you. Did he? Did I? Can I? I don't know. Is there a button for that? Wombat49 says, happy hump day, you bloody galahs. Welcome in, mate. Welcome in, you flying galah. Wombat, very happy Wednesday to you. Hope all is well. Tritz4 is here. He goes, Gibbo, we all agreed not to let it out of the bag what you did to Murph's PC. What did he actually do? We'll find out now when I start pressing buttons. Ozymandias is here. What's been happening? An awful lot. We've loads of news tonight. In actual fact, it's ridiculous, the amount of news that we have to cover. But we'll get through it. Put on the kettle. Wayland Jutani is here. He says, Murph doing...
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Jesus. He said, that was very loud. He says, is Murph doing podcasts now? I could have a podcast voice. Think of it now. As Margaret walked into the kitchen, Siobhan said to her, Jesus, Margaret, don't you look lovely? Right, I mean, right, just get the lighting right, do you know, podcast, yeah, sexy stories with Murphy, you know, and then, you know, the plumber kit, anyway, let's not go there, but right, I mean, I could get there, right, now we're over here, Sticky Rice, good to see her, Energizer rambles in, he says, evening all, so I take absolutely nothing has happened for our hobby in the last week. Yeah, pretty much nothing at all, there is no news. Night's Ep is here, what's a 777? A 777? Never heard of it. 777? Did I say triples? I don't know who's in charge. But anyway, let me see. Matt Lee is here. Good to see you, man. Sterling says, good day, Fireflies. It's a great day for an Expo debrief. What a day. Welcome in, man. Sean Dale says, what happened to the solid professional who was here at the weekend? Yeah, Jesus, yeah. We're not even in 4K on Twitch. 5 years I was trying to get 4K on Twitch. Gibbo was 5 minutes. I'm still looking for it, and Gibbo's like, I'm not telling you. You sound like that. Automator, good to see you. Scorpio49 has rambled in with a fine glass of brandy and a long moustache and a scarf. He says, good evening, Murph and all in chat. Everyone home safe and sound after the big adventure across the pond. So where have you hidden the expensive stash of goodies you brought back? So the new kitchen gets bumped into next year again. So I brought back, what were they called? Well, I got Reese's, but I got something else as well, some chocolate gadgets, and they melted in my bag and well, they didn't destroy the bag, they just destroyed one pocket in the bag, but it smells lovely. It just doesn't look nice at all. David Bay is here, good to see you. Willa, how much says, where did you get that tan? I got tan. If you look closely, you can see a line on me head where there shouldn't be. Look, see? That's from me sunglasses. Very bad now, you know, on both sides, in fact. Yeah, the two-tone is real, lads. It was hot. I was telling you, it's hot out there. But anyway, where we are, over here, look. Let me see. Hermit something. You should like the weather much more next year. Yeah, in Providence, Rhode Island, I believe it's pretty much like County Galway. I'm looking forward to it. Gano is here. What's the crack? Hope you're well, man. M. Dark is here, subscribing at a tier 1 for 4 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Hope you're well. Now, rambling over here. Wait, what? Super Ty, but Jesus, he's doing buttons already. Muttley is in the house. He says, glad to see you back in one piece. Thank you very much indeed. Viper Strike rambles in with the raid. Thank you very much indeed. He says, I took the 777 on a shuttle op between Zurich and Berlin. Ooh, nice. I haven't touched the thing yet. Chox has subscribed to tier 1 for 26 months. He says, Gibbo was better, to be honest. Yeah, well, right, I mean, he was, to be fair. And the voice is amazing. Gibbo's audio, right? I mean, do you know what I mean? It's that sort of deep welcome in. Isn't it? Right? I mean, do you know, he puts you in the mood for anything. And yeah, I'm the other side of it. It's like, does he ever stop talking? That's me, right? But yeah, thanks, Chocks. DH Paradox, good to see you. Egg Barley is in the house. Big Carlo. He says, Murph looks like he was hanging with Trump while he was there. Probably trying out his orange. Wait, orange? It was really great, super great. Love the tan. Vegas, super great. Right, brilliant. Me and Trump go way back. DH Paradox says, Expo was amazing. It was great crack. Magnificent. Even his hair has a tan. Jesus, I missed you, lads. Something fierce, right? Where can you go to get your emotions absolutely rattled and make you feel like you're 6.5 inches tall? Welcome to this side of the camera, where Murphy literally is talking to the wall. You're over there. You're in the wall thingy-majiggy with the stuff. It's all right, though. I've thick emotions. Yeah, that's what they are. But anyway, where are we at? The Kiar. Indeed. Right. Zybok Dog calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. I hope you're keeping very well. That's why you... Oh, wait. That's why you get a car and not a Skoda. Listen, I like the challenge. Anything that tries to kill you, I think is a good... You know, it financially kill you. I think it's a good investment. Do you know, it makes you appreciate things better, you know, when it is working and not breaking. But yes, check your alternator. Hermit, would you believe I only replaced the alternator about 3 months ago? It could be the alternator. Right, now let me see. Did you declare an emergency? I wish, right? It's time for a real car, Murph, and Night's Ep. Come on out to that now. Last time it was serviced, it cost a fortune. Indeed, right? Low battery, dodgy alternator. Lads, I don't know. Smart dad. He was, yeah. He'll take his own car. Preferring his own car. Yeah, thanks, Egg Barley as well. Low battery after a week isn't good. Indeed, it's not. Mr. Two-Tone been hitting the racetrack. Wait, what? Has she? Oh, in the car. Yeah. Turn it off and back on again. I did. How old is the battery? It should be good for 4 to 5 years. I don't know how old it is. It could be the battery. I'm hoping it's the battery. That's the lesser of all evils. Corn Wolf, good to see you. I don't blame Two Tone Senior for taking his own yoke. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, right. Captain Arachis here. Thanks for the awesome coverage of Expo. Really enjoyed it. You're very, very welcome, Captain Arachis. Great to see you, man. And hopefully the location of Expo next year is within striking distance of your good self. And I'm also hoping the likes of Colonel Fork and Jay Winokur. That's right up there, neck of the woods. Do you know what I mean? Now, let me see. Super Typhon, sad news here. My granddad sadly passed away 10 days before my beloved big cat. So I'm thankful to this community kept me sane. Super Ty. That's really sad, dude. I'm so sorry to hear that. So to your granddad and also your beloved cat as well. Dude, that's very sad news. But yeah, that's what we're here for. If you ever need a shoulder to cry or a face to insult, right, and me lip, show you me lip. That's what we're here for. Now, do a hard reset. That's what I'm hoping. Hey, Caleb is here. Good to see you. Thank you very much. Lee Dixon is in the chat as well. Welcome in. We're over here now. AZ Blue Line. You're very welcome in, my dude. Loving the stuff with the things with the oaks. Deadly. We'll go through them now. Wheaty Gaming. How's the back? Funny you should mention, and I'm not kidding you, my back is actually slightly sore from my flight home. Because I was sitting in the exit aisle and I had to go I was like a Spider-Man. Hang on, let's phrase that better. I was like an unfit person trying to audition for Spider-Man, and after they did all the maneuvers, oh Jesus, my back is sore a little bit, but I'm all right. I'll get there. Now, let me see. Matt Lee, you're very welcome in again. Kaharia says, did you bring some kitchen parts for the missus from Vegas? No. Well, no. Oh, God. Well, I brought some home, some chocolates. Do you know? Old veteran 965, Scott is in the house. You're very welcome in. Great catching up with Scott over at Las Vegas. And on the last night, we went down to Fremont Street, which is absolutely mad, by the way. I mean, they have street performers. They have, music and drinks and all the sort of bejesus going on. The sort of stuff that gave Sin City the name Sin City. And I was wearing my sunglasses for good reason. But anyway, welcome in. Old man Goat Hair, good to see you. Toto is in the house. You're very welcome in, my dude. Now let me see. We're over here, look. Jesus, it's busy. Old veteran, resubscribing at tier 2, 42 months. Would you believe it? Thank you very, very much indeed. Haircut, I recommend a 12mm. Yeah, thanks, Nightsep, yeah. Jesus, Quasar Core, no, Jesus, no. Too much kissing, Murphy, no. Oh my, oh who? Wait, what happened? There is the true story. Wait, what? Bless the cameraman, that's what I can say, yeah. Now, let me see. Lucky you didn't shove it up your hooter. Wait, what? What? Stavaris, so the lip will be the topic of discussion for the next few days. It will, yeah. Absolutely, right. Now, let me see. Memphis Dunn is here, 26 months with Prime. Thank you very, very much indeed, Memphis Dunn. Hope you're well. James, 747 James is here. Are there any tan lines? There are, but I can't really show you. They're in places they shouldn't be. You know what I mean? But yes. It was a convection oven the entire time. It was absolutely nuts, right? There's buttons happening over here on the side here. Thank you also very, very much indeed. Now, let me see. David Bay resubscribing 19 months. Goblin Zeus resubscribing for 41 months.
Hello
Jeez,
there.
all the subs. What's going on? Thank you very, very much indeed. Yes, absolute legends. Yes, absolute legends. You're very, very kind, and well, thank you very much. Goblin Zeus, good evening. My bet was if he was going to be allowed into the house. You nearly won that bet as well. Kozaki Flyer says, where is that lighthouse of a tunic? Bot doesn't like the other word for a blouse. Did you bin it? Where is the lighthouse of a blouse? Wait, what? Who? Kozaki, good to see you. Strap21 is here. Great meeting you at the Expo. Hope the flight back home went well. It did, Strap. Hope you're well, man. And awesome getting to meet you as well. And yeah, the flight home was grand. We got a delay in Chicago for 4 hours. Wait, for 5 hours. And then we eventually got into the plane. They sent over a 767, which I flew on the way home. So we got a 757 out, a 737 MAX down, an A321neo up, and then a 767 across. I was in all the big airliners now, right? I did say it. I didn't get the response I wanted. I got more off everyone instead of someone laughing. But like, as I walked onto the 767, Captain, I've got over 2,000 hours in flight sim. I'm in 37A. And I thought this was hilarious. It wasn't. It was like, that's just like last year's joke. What an imbecile. And I went very red in the face and I sat down quietly. Right, he was working on the Babe cast to tie into the Hot Tub cast. Wait, what? Let me see. Big Bone Baggins is here. Airlock Doc says 777, Seagrams 7 up 7 times. Yes, I agree. Black Void.
Jesus.
Black Void is here. Good to see you. Why did the 777 get sent to its room? Had bad altitude. Ah, Jesus. And we're already at it. At least there aren't 2 lines, because then it would show that you have COVID. Oh, wait. Yeah, Jesus. Right, we're over here. Hayden, UK. Good to see you. Lead Ballooner. Welcome in. It was an awesome time. Squawk 1200. Welcome aboard, man. Ian Fisher is here. He says, welcome home and good evening. You're welcome in. Thank you, Ian. Hope you're well, man. Now let me see. P.S. Mirandai. Hello there. I hope you're well, man. Helrick is here. Evening, gang. Hope everyone...
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
I hope everyone is well. I heard there's a lobster presenting tonight. Am I that tanned looking? Am I? Jesus, then I did get the sun. You know, it was warm out there. 6.5 inches. He thinks the half and inch matter. I kept you up. Oh, wait. I kept up. No, hang on. English words are hard. Hey, I kept you up with your sarcasm the whole time. He actually did. I didn't know what to be saying. Why did Murph put a 777 in his bathtub? He needed a tube liner. Oh, Jesus, this is brilliant. Adam Controls is here. Well, he's over there. Hasher Jesus, you're alive. Adam is alive. When are you back? Friday. No messing now, right? Do you know, Adam was funny. He was saying it was the dearest time he ever spent in Vegas with us, because like we go to the bar, but he'd like just go to the slots and they bring you a free drink. No. I was like, no, let's go to the bar. Bar wench, we want some beer, you know. And thank you, sir. That'll be $18. Huh? Right? We learned the hard way. Anyway, who's this? Niece Hunt, you're welcome in. Are you an Airborne Division fan? Yes, I am. Ewald says, so I just bought the PMDG gadget. How long does that email take? 45 minutes, Ewald, and you should be sound. 8 Barley says, you can't be turning off a Skoda and be expecting it to start again. Ah, Jesus. Hermit, something good to see you. I have a battery disconnect switch installed. Never have battery problems when extended parking. Ooh. Never thought of that. Paparazzi is here. He says, welcome back and thanks for the Expo streams. You're more than welcome. Hemmingbird says, I put a lovely picture of you in the bar, Murph. Got your flirtatious side. We'll have to check that out now in a second. Santi, good to see you, man. Dread Menace is in the house. He says, hey there, about Expos, I really hope for a return at Cosford. Yes, we'd have to talk to Just Flight on that. They used to arrange them. But I agree. I said it to Toby because they were like, you know, it could be interesting. I was like, just have a chat with Just Flight, you know, and tell them you're going to sponsor it. And maybe bring a couple of more sponsors, because then it'll work. So fingers crossed, lads, right? But anyway, mostly unclothed street performance, says old veteran. Yeah. That's Fremont. But, right, I mean, we're mature people. We weren't going around the place going, right? Yeah, I wasn't like that at all. That's why I wore sunglasses. Larry Gopnik is here. I was sketched out. Oh, wait, hang on. I was sketched out my Fremont Street and was, hang on. And that was before I encountered random blood on the ground. Wait, what? Random blood? Pilot Peely, the Wanderer returns. Welcome in, Pilot Peely. Hope you're well. Whole new meaning of getting only lip service. Oh, Jesus. Rambog Mord is here. Happy Wednesday. Celebrating my 30th birthday tonight. Rambog Mord, a very, very happy 30th birthday to you. My dude, you're catching up. I hope you're keeping well, man. I meant your finger, Murph. Oh, right. Oh, Trits. Yes. Yeah, we got there eventually. Brilliant. Now let me see. Wing Wrens, welcome in. Hope all is well. Eagle Airways is here. Aaron, a very happy Wednesday to you. Dougal McTavish, the chairman, has rambled in. Hey, Dougal. Hope you're well, man. Right, we're catching up here. I'm terribly slow at this, but sure, listen. The captain has seen your streams and wasn't going to allow you anywhere near the cockpit. Right, you know. Now let me see. Double pane window in the hotel room, and he's still got a tan. I was just thinking about the sun and I got it. Lord Freed is here. He says, hello, Murph and everyone. What a great weekend it was. But I wasn't feeling great on Sunday. Didn't even see Fremont Street. Oh, you poor devil. Lord Freed, it was absolutely awesome meeting you over there in Expo. And I hope you're well, dude. Hope you're feeling better today. Old veteran says he got most of his sun on the 51st floor of the bar. The sun was setting. I did. I got absolutely roasted. Cyrus T is in the house. Great to see him, a dude. I hope you're keeping very well. Super Ty says the 777's livery should have the words Triple Aegis under the cockpit, right? Just checked in at the area. Well, you're in the area. Oh, Jesus, they speak very well dressed. Brilliant. Now, let me see. Stick Figure, hello, my dude. Hope all is well. Yeah, you've been taken forever. Bring back Gibbo. Shut up, News. Who asked you? Now, also to our friends over on YouTube. You're all very welcome in. Arctic Chill.
Oh, Jesus.
How are you, Arctic Chill? Hope you're well. Andy70D, you're very welcome back. And I'm welcome back, he says. Thank you very much, Andy. How are you? Hope you're well. Who else is here now on the tube of you? It's kind of busy, lads, isn't it? Kevin Lewis. Where is the wealthy casino owners hangout? Oh no, wait, this is where we hang out, Kevin? Yes. Primo Victoria, you're very welcome in. Spudnot is here. No, Spundot is here. It's his cousin. Hello, he says. I watched Murphy on the floor at Expo and saw this live stream, so I thought I'd pop in. Well, you're very welcome. How are you? Do you know, you're looking well. Nutty Slack, good to see you. Local man addicted to brake fluid says he can stop anytime. Brilliant. That's very good. Mal Walsh, good to see you. The Swiss DJ is here. Welcome aboard. Jesus, who else? It's busy, isn't it? Let me see here now. Mrs. TPHI 17. Hello. And Jesus, that's great. Thank you also very much indeed for joining us. So yeah, it's flat out now tonight, right? Flat out. Murph, I missed Two-Tone. Oh wait, hi Murph and Mrs. Two-Tone. I read that totally wrong. FireFly Air says, hiya Murph and Mrs. Two-Tone and all. I hope all is well. And what was your favourite tech at the Expo? Ooh, we'll get into all of that here now in just a couple of moments. I'm going to press some buttons to see can we get a young, wild Gibbo on onto the call, right? Now I want to make sure this is all working, right? Now, that could be shocking now, but we'll try and figure this out in a second. Hang on now. Don't do anything. I have to get a camera working here. And Jesus, waiting to see this now. Right. How do we do this now? Would it be a screen or window capture? Hang on, Gibbo, now. Don't do nothing now for the minute. Is it display capture or is it screen capture? Oh, Jesus. Oh no, it's a window capture. Hang on, Gibbo. We're getting this ready now because we'll call this one Discord. Yes, and we're going to say okay. Oh look, there he is. Brilliant. Hang on now. Don't just be yourself now. Don't be anyone else. There he. Oh, look at Jesus. Would you look at the state of him? Hang on. They can. They can see you, but I want to make it better looking. Hang on a sec. Where'd you get them glasses?
It's just you're very red, man. You're hurting my eyes.
Hang on. I'll have to turn you up because. Hang on a second. What do you mean I'm hurting your... I'm not that red, am I?
Yeah, it's very red. What you do with your face?
State your face. Is it that bad, is it?
Yeah. It's changed now all over.
Hang on a second. I didn't think it was that bad. Jesus. Hang on.
It's the American makeup that you're obviously using now.
There,
straight
I fixed
it. Murph, welcome back. It's great
thanks.
to see you. Yeah, we missed you. We really did. Fair play to you for streaming tonight. I don't know how. Okay, I'll take them off. Joke over. No, but fair play to you for streaming tonight. I know you're absolutely in bits. Jet lagged. No tomorrow. Dying for his bed. But you did it anyway. So it's great to have you back, man. We missed you, honestly.
I tell you, well, it's great to be back, right? And I fixed me orange skin. Thanks for that. Didn't realise I pressed that button. But yeah, dude, well, as we were saying the other day, like absolutely savage coverage that you gave us over the last couple of days, keeping us all kind of in situ, right? But when we were talking, you were kind of saying, some of the news on Expo. I'm sure you must have been sitting there going, you really want to. You know what I mean? You wanted to go, Urgh! Because no doubt you saw some either really cool stuff, but also maybe some questionable stuff. But like from the production side, what did you think? How did you get on? There are many buttons to a live stream, isn't there?
Yeah. You know, it was a challenge for sure. It was fun, but as people know, it was genuinely my first time streaming. Right? I've done lots of videos. It's very different because if you make a mess, no bother. Just go again and edit it out, right? And I've been on with you plenty of times, but when you're in full control and you have all the buttons in front of you, it's a totally different ball game. I mean, you had all the buttons when we were on together, so you had all the hard work to do. Did I can tell folks a few things behind the scenes. So do you know the intro, like the never ending intro? That alone, it's not like you press a button and that's it. Feed up. You just wait for it to be over, and you're golden. No. There's a whole load of choreography, and if I can say that word, choreography and timing and buttons to be pressed. And yeah, if you miss one thing, you have to do another and hide things, and then unhide it. Every stream he does that. I don't know how he does it. That's just the intro. Never mind getting on.
I like to challenge myself. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you could automate it, but like, where's the crack in that? It's all about, count to 17.
When I got that right, I was like, at least I can tell him I got the intro right.
Brilliant.
No, but on a serious note, I felt as though, I got more in the hang of it. Chat engagement, for example, was probably bad in the first one, but by the third one, I was reading everything and trying to be more, involved with folks. Oh, one thing I meant to say, right? I had all these great ideas, right? I had these brilliant little sound files.
Right.
In particular, Benny Hill one, you know, right when you were walking around the expo, I was going to play that, and I forgot them all, and I'd sound effects as well, as though you were breaking stuff and dropping stuff. Didn't play one of them.
Ah, Jesus, opportunity missed. But
Next
then,
time,
to be fair though, I tell you, it was so wild trying to walk around and like just, I mean, the state of me, the absolute hack of me trying to get up in front of people's faces going, hello, how are you going? Will you talk to me, please? And they're looking at you. But no, it's without a shadow, like it's my setup is nuts. I get it, right? I understand it. And then to try and show you, like, this is like anti-Gibbo, because you're all about automation. As you say, you work very hard so you could be lazy. And this is definitely not the case. This is all like, why did you do it that way, right? And yeah, it's. I thought I ordered something else for your feet as well. Do you know the Elgato gadget? I was going to add one of those in to have even more things that
the
move.
pedals.
The pedals, yeah. But
you need them.
I need them, right? But come here. So the expo itself, the announcements, right? Yeah. I mean, apart from presenting the stream, as just a fan of flight simulation, what did you make of it? Like, was there anything that really kind of grinded your gears, or was there anything that really excited you?
I think I introduced it by saying I'm expecting lots of hardware and lots of software, and honestly, that's kind of what we got, right? It was heavy on the hardware side for sure. Wing obviously jumps out ahead of the rest from every, mainly due to the innovation and the price point, without a shadow of a doubt. And then I think we forget as well what we saw from Navigraph, like in lieu of later activities from Microsoft and so forth. What Navigraph announced kind of got forgotten about a little too quickly, and they're doing some fantastic work, particularly in the VATSIM space. So those two things on the announcement side really were the highlight for me, and seemed to be the case for many in chat.
Mm-hmm. And what about
in terms of anything that grinded my gears? Your man with his competitively priced, what does that mean? Everybody's got a different price range, right? So what does that mean? And as I say, when Wing kind of announced their thing, that kind of whatever he said, he was totally forgotten about. I think the Moza thing stuff that they were bringing as well was interesting. So heavy on the hardware side, kind of as we expected, I suppose. Really.
What did you think of that?
Bluebird was the highlight in terms of sim content for sure.
Yeah. What about the crypto thingy, Majiggy? What were your thoughts on that?
The what now with the who now? The crypto thing? Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Dear. Now I know what you mean.
Like, was that just a case that they said,
what was that, simfly.io? Isn't that who?
Yeah. Was it just a case that they said, right, FlightSim Expo, here's loads of money and we want to appear on stage, please?
Yeah, that didn't really go down well in chat. Everybody was thinking, scam, don't trust them. That sounds dodge. I think the main reason why it got people a little wary is because there's blockchain involved, right, and crypto, like you say. So then it's anonymous and you can't really track it too easily. So that always gets people's alert up, understandably. So yeah, I'd be very wary of that personally. I'd lots of people to try it before me. I would not like to be a guinea pig there. The intent perhaps is good in terms of actually generating something for your time of flying, but the execution, not so much for me.
Yeah, because like even the reactions on the panel, and I did get chatting then to the panel. And I was chatting to Overkill, and he's like, he genuinely admitted, he goes, he wasn't going to start roasting there and then. He just didn't feel that was his place. And he said, oh yeah, it was great. But he said he really wanted to say something else. So let's see what happens over the next few days if he releases the video.
Hang on. What's the point of a panel then if you're not going to be honest?
Right.
That's the whole reason they're there.
That's why.
Some credibility. Come on.
That's why you and I weren't invited. You and I would have been sitting there going, this is a load of shite.
You said it, not me. Yeah, but true. Yeah, we should totally be on there. Get off, you're rubbish.
Right, stay your face. Get out of there, will you? Yeah, right. That was right. We should have done that. But we're kind of doing it now, I suppose. Yeah, get out of there, But yeah, I'd have to say, and like, loads of news tonight, right? Because there's been a ton of releases and also a lot of new kind of products being announced as well. What did you make of the Microsoft chat as well? Like, was there, after watching it back, because I know when you're streaming, you're multitasking, right? I mean, you're keeping an eye on the chat, you have to put up with me pulling faces at you, and you're trying to watch the stream. So was there anything else that you kind of were able to pull from that?
Again, straight after it, I think when it came back to me, my comment was it seems to be a step forward in quality and overall quality. That was kind of evident. But again, as I said, for me, it's an evolution, not a revolution. It really is. It could be a point release, in my humble opinion, but no, it's a brand new title, so as such, we expect a lot more. Yeah, again, you kind of get caught up in the bells and whistles, and they threw a lot at us, particularly on the partnership side and the incorporation of various third parties and so forth. But they're, when you look back at it and you have a bit of time to reflect and think through it, like there was some interesting pieces there. Things like ray tracing and enhanced lighting and shadow effects and realistic visuals, and the list kind of goes on. So there was some goodness in there. We still have plenty of questions without a shadow of a doubt. And a little more on the core sim rather than the fancy bells and whistles and icing on top would be really, I think, what we are looking for now. We did get one or two of our questions in that regard answered to do a compatibility on 2020 content and its forward compatibility on 24. That was explained, well, I thought. But other than that, I think we have a lot of questions, not just on pricing, but certainly on multiplayer, on how side by side they will look, on whether there's going to be different versions. And quite honestly, I can only imagine, and I've no inside knowledge here whatsoever. I'm just speaking as one of you, as a spectator here, and just summarizing what I think. And I think they're still figuring a lot of this out. I don't think that they know the answers to these questions, because they might have given more of a concrete answer to them already if they did. So I think that there's plenty of work ahead between now and the 19th of November. And it's only, I think, when they sort that out that they'll be able to actually confirm a lot of answers to our questions.
Yeah, like I really got a feel, especially on Sunday, it was very much a kind of a stop measure, as in, this is what we've done so far. Aren't we a great bunch of lads, and keep trusting in us, and we, we're on the right platform. That's what it kind of felt. I mean, we've done all of these things, and like when you have, the people responsible for marketplace, plus all the news on Saturday, not a single thing. Nothing was mentioned about multiplayer. Is it getting better? Are there new features? Like nothing, which I thought was odd, because, I mean, look, we can see the glaring issues that exist with multiplayer, and no, straight over their head. And yet the trailers show aircraft flying with each other. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's a bit kind of, it's a bit strange for sure, but yeah, look.
And look, there's one of the beauties of our sim as well, is the fact that everybody's got different interests and different aspects of it interest them more than others for other people. And that's absolutely okay. I have to say, I personally, for asking my opinion, switched off a little when they talked about the hot air balloon physics, and a little when they talked about gliders. I was kind of going like, next, keep going there, Seb. So yeah, but for others, I'm sure they really found that interesting. I mean, how much do you want to know about how a rope works? But, Seb went there, and fair play to him. It's impressive, but okay, I think I can think of 20 other things more important.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like, for sure, like the features, and again, I'll go over them all here today. Like that's why we do the news, right? But yeah, like I think there was one or two things that I was, funny enough, I was standing beside Scott from A2A during the announcements on Friday. And I was trying to get kind of his feedback, because, I mean, he's seen it all before. Plus, he makes the stuff, right? Yeah. And a couple of things from him was like, it's about time, right? And then one or two other comments was like, oh, for crying out loud. But then there was more comments saying, that's really awesome. So, like, I think there was a good mix of kind of everything.
Mix, yeah.
And I'm sure it was the same for other developers.
Yeah, that's interesting. So real across the board variation as to how it was received. I was curious, because sometimes you can't tell, certainly from a live stream, how the audience are how it's landing and how the audience are reacting. And if the people are standing up, you can't catch that from a live stream. So I was curious if it was different in the room. But from the claps, yeah, there were few and far between. There was a few, right? But
it was brilliant, right? So Jorg's talking about partners. Is like, on this slide here, we can see the helicopter, and that's being made by Carinado. You could hear a pin drop. There was silence. No one said nothing, right? And then I was just like, yeah, Carinado, right? And then after a couple of more minutes, he says, and then you have the ugly plane. They can do all the stuff and the things, and this is made by Carinado. And again, nothing.
Lead balloon.
You can hear crickets. I was like, that's pretty much as strong. Any other development or developer that they mentioned got a woo, or if it was me about Donegal, I got a very loud woo. But Carinado, nothing. It was just like, okay, moving on. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. And look, the format that he took in kind of repeating what we'd seen from various streamers, including yourself, who did the frame by frame analysis, was an interesting one. He was essentially just confirming what, the your takeaway was. I got the builds right with the EFB giveaway.
Right. Do you reckon he watched the stream? I reckon he did. I reckon he watches the stream.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. I reckon it's actually Muse fan, and he's been lying to us all along, right? Because the accent works, But no, I thought it was. Look, it was definitely worthwhile in terms of being there to listen into what's happening. Like, there's like, for some of the developers who've been partnered, it truly is the great success story, I think, because these guys started off as just, we'll make a plane and see what happens. And like, they start off at one or two and then they become many. And then they get these massive partner contracts, which I couldn't tell you what the ins and outs are, but they got to be good for business, right? And they would add quite a bit of security. So that's a great success story to have. But then again, you and I were kind of talking about this as well. We were saying, Jesus, like, okay, all these partnered, first party developers, and they're now signed up to Microsoft, and Microsoft are going to keep them busy. We were saying, Jesus, is this kind of dangerous now to kind of take away this independence, take away this uniqueness from us, from the general marketplace, because Microsoft seems to be just kind of putting them metaphorically into their pocket. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Microsoft have been doing this for a while now with aircraft, right? Where they've used likes of builds and plenty other developers, Gaia on sceneries, to do a lot of that work for them. There's no doubt about it. It was very evident at the Expo that they're doing it now with add-ons. Wheel of VF4 being one, flight control replay being another, global ship AI traffic being another. You'd start to worry if that continued, and they did say that there's more partnerships to be announced too, as to when it's going to stop, and where the overall advancement and that innovation and that, because there is some good stuff coming from these small developers, of course, as well, and they do make others like Microsoft sit up and take notice. And I don't blame them at all. The individual software houses, Murph, as you say, there's a lot of advantages. It funds their development. It gives them confirmation of sales that otherwise will be up in the air. They'd be unsure as to what they generate. So, I don't blame them, but I'd worry. Who's next? Is it Parallel 42? Is it somebody else? Who knows? And that's kind of concerning.
Yeah, and like, I suppose it's as you say, like, it's a great thing, but I think me watching on, the challenge has now been issued to these developers. Can they maintain, the creativity freeness, the awesome kind of inspirational, innovative stuff? Or are they is that kind of taken away now because they got to focus on the project work? That's where the challenge is going to be. It's going to be fiercely interesting to see, over the next kind of 6 to 9 months, how that starts to transpire. But we probably saw it. Jesus, there's buttons from Dreadnought.
Whoa.
Dreadnought has now I have to say this without kind of making it sound weird, but Dreadnought has the finest hat in the world. His hat, it was a 10-gallon Stetson, or very close to it. Thank you very much indeed for the 5 gifted subs. And awesome dude is Dreadnought. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of what they do, because like I mentioned Carenado, but like Carenado for years have always been a relatively fast outputting type of developer, as in they just push out products all the time. And when they signed up with Microsoft, that kind of stopped. You'd only get a release every 2 to 3 months through Microsoft. And now, like, we haven't seen anything released from them since, what was it, the 182? Like, nothing. And again, they're building all this stuff for Microsoft. So, if you are a fan of Carenado, which, not to say anything bad about them, they still make some of the most beautiful looking aircraft in the sim, period. If you're a fan of them, well, there's not much happening, right? They're gone quiet because, well, they're busy,
Plenty of examples of that, Murph. Flight effects with the Vision Jet. We haven't seen any updates, anything in terms of advancement there, because they're being hoovered up by Microsoft for the new release. It's great that it's in the core sim, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, if you've bought that already, they've kind of tied their hands together as far as them being able to do more with that. So yeah, there's lots of examples of that, which is unfortunate. It is the way of the world. It's pure economics, I'm sure, but at the same time, for us as sim lovers, you can't help but wonder, if they're being held back.
So come here, tell me, right? Of all the releases in the last, say, 7 to 14 days, which one has kind of stood out for you completely?
On the hardware side, the wing gear, as I said at the start, really interests me. I have as you know, the mini FCU. Totally regret buying that now because I want the wing FCU, because I want the EFIS beside it and the ECAM, and I want the FMC, and I want everything. But it's not till Q4, I think, until that's out. So that stood out. Certainly at that price point, absolutely for day one purchase or pre-order purchase for sure. On the software side, it definitely has to be the 777. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. I know the Huey's out. I know there's MD-11's out and a few more things, but I only had my first flight of the 777 today, so there's a bit of a challenge in there, a bit of a challenge.
Do you like it?
Lots to learn. I do. Different. Definitely feels heavy. You definitely get that sense. You definitely get the power of the G10. So I'm enjoying it and looking forward to greasing some landings eventually.
Awesome stuff. Well, Gibbo, listen, dude, thank you so much. Again, it's another night out of your normal schedule, and we just said we had to jump you on just to say hello, and again, just to say again, thank you for all the work you gave over the last couple of nights. I mean, you were up way past your bedtime. Do you know what I mean?
There was a few late ones, to be fair. Yeah,
Right?
That's for sure. No, look, it was fun. I think it was something different. Hopefully, well, I have to say a massive thank you to everybody here. Everybody was super supportive. Nobody gave me a hard time, and I got lots of messages offline as well, of support and thanks. So I really appreciate it. I'm going to get back to my normal job now, which is to be one of the chat and just to harass and annoy you, which I think I excel at.
Yeah,
and,
you do. In fact, yes.
I'll leave you back to the hot seat. Listen, will you try and keep up the 4K on Twitch and do what you can on the viewer numbers? Try and get to my level over. You'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Just pull your socks up a bit, yeah.
Sorry, Gibbo, I didn't hear that last bit. You were breaking up there. Right, brilliant. Right, well, listen, I'm going to go now because that was a low blow.
All
right, that was a good dig.
Take care, chat. Enjoy the rest of the stream. See you, Murph.
Take care, my
Welcome back.
dude. All the best. But also, right, the devil. But ladies and gentlemen, Gibbo Ireland, can we get the pints of Guinness and Moats into the chat? Because the man is an absolute legend. And Gibbo put all of his free time up and he said, Murph, let's do this thing. And I was like, Gibbo, that's going to be from 8 or 9 o'clock each night until about 2 in the morning. He says, yep, let's do it. So incredible support. So fair play to him. So what we're going to do, there's all stuff happening there now. So yes, Dreadnought, thank you very, very much indeed, dude, for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. We'll have to have you on the Murph line for a chat soon, right? I'll reach out to you on Discord.
Baby, yeah.
Kando is here as well. Good to see you. He says, I think you'll be happy with the amount of freedom given. Kando, of course, who's part of the Got Friends team, working away with the lads. So some the inside track there. But Kando, I was just saying, well, we stayed out of a lot of trouble. We got into trouble, but we stayed out of a lot of trouble. But you're very welcome in, my dude. And of course, then we had Gerald with a Prime subscription.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Jesus, the buttons. We had Gerald here for 14 months with Prime. Thank you very, very much indeed as well, my dude. Great to see you. And Old Veteran then, Jesus, 5 gifted tier 1 subs going all out to the community. Thank you very, very much. Lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub from Old Veteran, well, do be sure to give him a big thank you. And hey, Loch Load is here. Good to see you, man. Yeah, Gibbo did an absolute deadly job. Right, lads, we're going to ramble in now and start covering some news because there's a ton of it, right? So we'll go back to this button. Is that making a noise? Did that make a noise? We'll try it again. It makes some noise. Godfriends are still on the road. Did you nearly buy a horse? Godfriend, Jonks, did you nearly buy a horse? I think he did. Hang on, we come over here now. Look, Jesus, it's only me over here. Look, yeah, Godfriends are talking about they're on the way to buy a horse. Right, I mean, look, listen. Oh Jesus, I'm after closing the screen that I shouldn't have, but I opened it again. It's grand. That's the sound. That's the sound I make in the morning. Brilliant. Yeah, it needs WD-40 for sure. So anyway, you're all welcome in. Thank you all indeed for joining us here on this Wednesday evening. It was a recap of FlightSim Expo. We'll chat about some of the other details about it here shortly. And of course, we have all the news to get through. There's a lot of news, lads. There's a ton of news. And of course, we're looking at this monstrosity of an aircraft here, the Boeing 777, just released by PMDG. Now, the world and its mother is streaming this thing at the moment. We don't need to do an awful lot. But I will be flying this aircraft. It's an aircraft I've been looking forward to for quite some time. I do have access over on X-Plane 12 to Flight Factor's 777. So I've been trying to get me kind of, do you know what I mean? Me 777 on. And we also have, of course, the brand new release by Blackbird Simulations, the T6A. And of course, we have Tags Hangar newest release of the Huey. So there's a lot of stuff to check out, amongst others. But what we're going to do, we're going to start off with the news, because lads, there's lots of news. I mean, there's all the news, right? And we'll take it kind of one bit of a time, and we'll see where it all lands in. So if you've been away for the last couple of days and you're unsure what was happening in the world of Flight Simulator, well, we're going to catch you up. That's the plan now. Starting from now, as I roll up my sleeves and make it look even super duper. We're going to start off with all the news headlines, and if I miss anything, just let me know. We'll try and cover it in either tonight or indeed next week. So yes, the biggest news, you may not have heard it, but yes, PMDG have released their Boeing 777 for Microsoft Flight Sim. Little bit on the hefty pricing, I must admit, right? People will justify it all day. They'll say it's great. Me personally, it's just my opinion. It's dear. It's expensive. It's about $13 too dear. If this was 60, I'd say yes. It's 73 or 74. Jesus, that was loud. I just think it's a little bit expensive. Now, a lot of work went into it, but like, put it this way, right? The 737 was one of the most, successful aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim history. This thing broke the store after the fact. So this is even more successful. So I don't know. It's just, it's dear. But it doesn't take away from how good it is, I'm sure. Anyway, in what has been one of the most anticipated releases, and all the news we're getting tonight, lads, we have a massive roundup here from our good friend Vasco over at MSFS.addons.com. I got to meet Vasco over at Expo, and of course we have Flight Sim, or FS Elite, beg your pardon, and a big shout out to Callum and all the lads. I had a good chat with Callum over there as well. And then the last bit of news, we're rambling over to Sergio Costa over at Helisummer, and I got to meet everyone, which was great, right? But anyway, PMDG invites you onto the flight deck of what they claim is the finest airliner simulation available for the sim. Designed by the team at PMDG to leverage all the capabilities of the new platform, the 777-300 Extended Range is a feature-rich and detailed simulation of the Boeing 777. It's packed with features, authenticity, and a wide selection of options. It is created by experts for the enjoyment of both experts and casual simmers alike. So we don't need to go too much into this because, well, I'm going to be streaming this and flying it because PMDG, this is not their first time they released a 777. They've done this in the past. And, well, it's before you even go near it, it's a classed aircraft. I have been reading reports people are getting stutters and freezes. I saw Jamie stream it last night. Granted, it was a beta, but like the elevators were giving it all sorts of right. So we'll see when an update drops. But it's available now at the curious price of $77.73. Boeing 777-300. That's what they price it at. Is it marketplace wizardry or is it just a little bit dear? It's a little bit dear. That's just my opinion. But anyway, it's now released and the world and his mother is flying in the 777. Beautiful aircraft, and as I said, I will be. I can't wait to pay $77.72 for the 200. Yeah, right. It's a beautiful aircraft, and I am going to be spending quite some time in this thing over the coming days, weeks, and months. Right, or at least that's the plan, and we'll see what happens. So, moving on. Also, with the PMDG news, well, VATSIM have partnered up with them, and are going to be doing a launch event. PMDG and VATSIM have jointly announced that a special event celebrating tomorrow's highly anticipated launch will take place on June 30th. The event will be staffing up at Boeing's Payne Field and Dubai for several hours on Sunday, allowing simmers to replicate a delivery flight of the iconic wide body. Though the event is set up with the 777 in mind, there is no requirement to fly the type, and users can elect to fly whatever aircraft they would like. That being said, VATSIM wishes to remind users that per their network's code of conduct, you should be familiar with your aircraft before taking it onto the network. So it'll be a case of, go direct. I don't know what to do. So just make sure you know how to use the gadget, right? Anyway, Dubai is going to be staffed from 14 to 2000 Zulu, while Payne Field will have full coverage from 2359 to 0400 Zulu on the morning of July 1st. So a VATSIM event to kind of celebrate the arrival of the 777. Now, Flight Sim Studios, this is at Expo. They announced the Boeing 727-200 freighter for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Flight Sim Studios, these guys brought us the Embraer, which are still work in progress, and some of their some of their lesser high fidelity, well, that's not right, some of their smaller aircraft, the Sea Ray, right? It's a high fidelity aircraft, the Sea Ray. But anyway, it's a significant departure from the current lineup of mostly modern regional jets. This is it's a fairly old vintage jet at this stage, right? And the 727-200, well, it's based on the freighter. Now, Flight Sim Studio have just released a freighter model of their Embraer 195s, I think. And, well, this news, well, they promise it's going to be an in-depth simulation. There's talk about this thing coming out very, very soon, I think July. And the aircraft visuals have been impressive all along, and the 727 will be no exception. Expect a stunning 3D model built specifically for Microsoft Flight Sim, with high-resolution textures that capture the essence of the legendary aircraft. There are a number of screenshots here, and I got to say they look pretty nice in terms of what's in the aircraft and out. I think the externals on the, it looks better on the outside. It's still a very interesting looking aircraft here. You have the engineer station with all our engines and bleed air systems and all the doohickeys. And the aircraft itself from the outside, well, it looks beautiful. The freighter is slated to release by the end of July. Now, here's the thing, right? Look at the state of the photos. FS Reborn and SWS are also working on a 727. And it's not only one of them. They're going to do all variants of the 727. So it's going to be interesting to see. It would appear that Flight Sim Studios are ahead of the curve. But, well, if you guys are a fan of FS Reborn and SWS, they're now working together. Just to kind of put things into perspective, at Expo, Raul and Alex were showcasing some of the exterior details because they got over, I want to say it was 5 million images of the scan of the exterior of the aircraft. And they were even able to compare it to, I think it was a 737, because the nose shape is identical. They're doing mad stuff, right? So I don't know where this one is going to land from Flight Sim Studios. I just think anything that has Raul working on it and Alex, it's going to be something special, or at least that's the hope. So we must get Raul on for a chat just to see what their version is going to look like. But certainly, if anyone's looking forward to a 727-200, there's definitely one on the way here from Flight Sim Studios. Nothing mentioned regarding the price, unless I can click into it here now. Where did that go? It went over here. Let's see, stay up to date. Yeah, so they haven't given a price yet, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, interesting news with a 727 on the way. Who be now? Smiley Beaches, thank you very much indeed for the sub. And if I missed anyone with an alert, if you've subscribed here on YouTube, or if you've hit the like button, or if you've followed here on Twitch, thank you also very, very much indeed. Really do appreciate you. Moving on, TFDI Design. Well, they have set July the 2nd as the public launch date for the MD-11. Now, this is an aircraft I am really looking forward to because, well, it's mad. It's a tri-jet and I love them. So they revealed in May that the MD-11 was feature complete, ready for a public launch soon, while TFDI Design announced that the public availability will begin on July the 2nd. The team shared this highly anticipated news this morning at FlightSim Expo, that was 2 days ago. The MD-11 has undergone a long and sometimes convoluted development process, but it now seems to be coming to fruition successfully after an extensive testing phase. While the 777 also out, suddenly become wide-body airliner season in Microsoft Flight Sim, a time many simmers have been eagerly awaiting. There's even more exciting news in the area as other high-profile objects like the upcoming Inibil's A350 are set to further detailed in the new development updates. But the good news here is the MD-11 is coming out very, very, very soon. You're talking a week from today, right? So even less. It's out next Tuesday. And I spent a lot of time in Rotate's MD-11 over on X-Plane. I cannot wait to get my hands on the MD-11 in Microsoft Flight Sim. This one just, to me, has a bit more character. Right, do you know what I mean? It's the old rustic. It's been there. It's got the t-shirt. It got the heartburn. It's right. It's a more kind of, I don't know what it is. It's a very confusing aircraft, but I love it. Right, so looking forward to that. So July the 2nd for that one. Now, A2A Simulations confirming, of course, that the Aerostar 600 from Microsoft Flight Sim, and they're going to release this, or they're aiming to release this a little bit later this year. I had the great chance to catch up with Scott Gentile at Expo. Super, super nice guy, and like, man alive, that you only have to stand within 20 feet of him to get that feel of how much passion he has about aviation, but how to how to take real world aviation, put it into a product so that we get to experience. He's remarkable to listen to, right? And he's also cool. But chatting to Scott quite a bit, and he's talking about the Aerostar. And like, we look at a twin engine aircraft, and what's the first thing you'd say if you're going to take, a twin engined prop aircraft versus a single prop aircraft? What comes to mind first, right? I mean, why would you want two engines rather than one engine, right? Be interesting to see what you're going to say, because I know what I said, and Scott was like, nope. So we know with the Comanche, the experience from A2A gave us something very new in the simulator. It gave us the proper idea of consequence. You don't walk around your airplane, you don't check these components, they could fail. If you don't listen to how that engine is sounding, you're going to be running it rough. Not only that, but then they had all the turbulence in there. There's a whole load of stuff in there. And the Comanche was definitely one of those defining moments in our flight sim to say, holy crap, look what they can actually do in a sim these days. I'm really excited about this project, right? So anyway, plenty of speculation about what A2A will be doing next, but the doubt seems to have now been cleared, right? The Aerostar, if you ever watch American Made with Tom Cruise, he flies one of these and that. The Piper Aerostar. It's a fascinating aircraft. Look it up. Do a bit of reading up on it, lads, because it's class looking, right? And even A2A's version, even the aircraft that they buy, talking to Scott, he says, at A2A, he says, I'll buy the airplane and I'll get to learn the airplane. Not study it, I learn it. And there's a difference, because he'll learn it by flying it. He'll find all the nuances. He'll find all the weirdness and, the good and the bad by flying the aircraft, right? And this aircraft, the actual aircraft that A2A owned, it actually had to do an emergency gear up landing some time ago. And they were forced to land the aircraft without the left landing gear extended, resulting in damage that rendered pretty much grounded, right? But despite that, A2A did manage to gather tons of information, and they're continuing to do so now. So we don't have a release date yet. There are a couple of screenshots shared. I'm super excited for this. If this releases in 2024, I would be saying this will be one of the releases of 2024, because just listen to Scott and his ideas behind this thing, hair standing up me arm, like just mad stuff. So again, the development process will keep you up to date when new news comes in, but it's going to be the AccuSim Aerostar 600, and that's by A2A. So moving on, Blackbird Simulations. I got to meet, I met the team of Blackbird, and really, really nice guys. No prior warning, even though we knew that it was in the works, and will probably not be too far off. Blackbird Simulations have released what they're calling their highest fidelity aircraft to date. Now that's quite a statement, considering these guys gave us the Cessna 310. Anyway, it's developed for use by the United States Air Force and even NATO for real-world pilot training. This aircraft we have in our sim is the same. This is what real-world pilots train on. There's clearly a lot of ambition here. Blackbird makes a play for the top of the military aircraft category in the sim, following their successful entry into the GA market, which included the Cessna 310R. The T6A, it's a whole different beast, and hardcore simmers will be happy to know that actual Air Force pilots are expected to master this simulation before stepping into the real aircraft. Absolutely nuts. Max Shiggity Pilot is here, resubscribing to the channel. Max Shiggity, thank you very, very much indeed. He says, I don't always watch Twitch, but when I do, it's Murph. Thank you very, very much indeed. I hope you're well, man. So this one here, lads, there's a lot of story behind this. Blackbird have implemented a multitude of features, both visuals and effects, being at the forefront of the simmer experience. We can expect to see a high-fidelity 3D model of the T6 with effects such as engine and propeller blowout effects, tire sparks, wheel blowouts, and dozens of customization options, including nighttime lighting. Moving into the simulation side of things, we're looking at as quite literally a study-level aircraft for the sim. Blackbird's T6A comes with fully custom and realistic analog, electric, hydraulic, pressurization, ECS, fuel, and oil systems, allowing you to become completely immersed in managing the aircraft. Additionally, there is a 1-to-1 scale of a fully functional GPS and an in-game tablet with a map and failure system, and even an automatic co-pilot option to help manage the two-seat configuration of the airplane. And yes, you can fly from either seat. Look at some of the pictures here with the effects, look. So he's clearly that was me flying. Bashed the prop. It's now shagged, and now it's just a fire, right? It looks absolutely incredible. Look at the effects they've built into this. And like, this is the aircraft, lads, that, you know, real world pilots have to train on first. Look at the lighting in this. Isn't that quite superb? It's only beautiful, right? It's only beautiful. So it's primarily used by the United States. It's used in 1 or 2 other countries as well. New Zealand, the Kiwis use this as well. So there's plenty here to keep us entertained. It's now available for Microsoft Flight Sim, and you can pick it up for $44.99 US. And you pick it up through Blackbird's website. I have the aircraft, I need to learn it, but I will be giving you a look at it, hopefully if we have time tonight, but let's see how we go. If not, we'll probably do something soon, right? But an incredible release, and I'm looking forward to fly it. Now, Micropose. This was massive news as we saw the trailer on Friday. So Micropose, a name that lives in infamy when it comes to flight simulation, right? They've made some cracking sims over the years, and they're still there. They've announced development of the B-17G Flying Fortress for Microsoft Flight Simulator. In a truly surprising announcement today, Micropose, the legendary game developer behind classics like Falcon and F-15 Strike Eagle, well, they revealed their entry into the add-ons development community for the sim with a series of historic aircraft, and the first release will be a true legend of the Second World War, the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress. This marks an incredible development, which Micropose had historically enjoyed success developing its own flight sim titles, sometimes even competing directly with what Microsoft had to offer. Micropose, the Heritage Valor Collection, promises to be a curated selection of meticulously crafted add-ons with a World War II theme. And our good friend Sergio Costa of Helisimmer, well, he's heavily involved in the project. We saw the trailer, and if you didn't get to see it, we'll have a quick look at it here now, because it looks absolutely gorgeous. And let's see, you know, if we do one of these, I'll press a button. We just need to look at it, lads, because it's gorgeous, right? And let's see if this works now, and, you know, I don't break it. And does this one work? This works. Let's have a look. Now, as we can see from the trailer, I mean, it looks great, doesn't it? I mean, it looks incredible, this thing. Really, really excited to see what they can do. But here's the scoop, right? I mean, this thing isn't the only B-17 in development. We know that, what are they called? Flying Iron are working on one of these as well, right? But exciting news. So the B-17 Flying Fortress, the first aircraft to be released in the Heritage Valor Collection. This late 1942 variant represents the pinnacle of B-17 design, and it played a critical role in the Allied bombing campaigns over Europe. So some of the features: meticulously accurate model and textures, both interior and exterior, representing a late 1942 B-17G. Authentic sound effects recorded from a real B-17, multiple liveries, realistic flight model developed based on aircraft manuals and extensive documentation, and the pursuit of historical realism. Developing these aircraft is a challenging endeavour due to the numerous variations, even within the same block or subversion of the aircraft. Accurate references are often difficult to find, as even museum-preserved aircraft don't fully capture their historical authenticity. That came from Sergio Costa, and now anyone who knows of Sergio, super passionate about flight sim add-ons, more so with Helisim, but now that he's involved in this, I'm super excited to see what they can actually do. So once we get a little bit more news and some previews, I'll be only too happy to show you, because this is class looking. The B-17, hell yeah, we want this. So great news there for the Warbird lovers, right? Now, moving on, Flight Effects, as Gibbo said, they have been flat out, and we haven't really got to see or hear much from them. However, they have shared some stunning new preview images of their Cessna C750 and also the P180 Avanti from Microsoft Flight Sim. FlightFX, well, they're back with some exciting new pictures. Their latest screenshots offer a closer look at the exterior and interior details of the highly anticipated aircraft. The Citation X, some of the new pictures include the cabin, which we can bring up here now. Doesn't this look amazing? Look at the state of this. They did a great video with Air Force Proud, and I think Boris was with them as well for all the sounds. It was really, really cool looking. And like, look at the detailing. These are all laser scanned images. It looks stunning. Look at the cut of it. I mean, you just want to sit in them seats, don't you? Do you know what I mean? I love it. So it's really coming along well, and you know, some of the interior stuff as well. Then when we come to the Avanti, the P180, mad looking plane, this one, with the props in the back. Well, they're working hard on the interior of this aircraft, in which we can see some of these pictures up here. This is also bringing a brand new avionics suite into Microsoft Flight Sim, and who knows what that's going to pave the way forward, because the avionics suite used in the Avanti, well, it's used on other aircraft, and the Eagle Eye will most notably tie this thing into what Gulfstream do and what also Bombardier do. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what the next steps are going to be. Super exciting news. And they also hinted at the Bombardier Challenger to further expand the impressive fleet. So that's great news from FlightFX. We know they're an official partner with Microsoft, and it'll be interesting to see these aircraft coming to life as well. I got a chance to catch up with Nick over there, and they're super busy. They're just super busy. They have a relatively small team, and they're up against it, trying to get all this stuff up, ready, and out the door for release. Do you know? Now, Black Square's Beechcraft Starship for Microsoft Flight Sim is going to be returning in glorious detail, and it's aiming for a release a little bit later this year. Now, I got to meet Nick at FlightSimExpo. Lovely, lovely guy, and it was surreal standing there beside him talking, because Nick is the tutorial voice you hear on the videos, right? And I mean, that's how I learned how to fly all his aircraft, watching the videos that Just Flight put out, and Nick is talking. And when he's standing there beside me having the chat, I'm like saying, Jesus, I feel like I need to push a button, right? Really, really nice guy. This is not unlike the P180 of the previous story we just shared, but it is that of the Beechcraft Starship. This is a unique aircraft, right? So Black Square Starship project has been a labour of love for the developer, Nick Kazansky, and he used the intervening time to hone his skills on other projects, most notably the TBM 850, which I think we all agree is incredible, and then of course the acclaimed piston and turbine Dukes. Really, really good aircraft. So the Starship, for those unfamiliar with the marvel of engineering, it was a true game changer in general aviation. Its design incorporated more technological firsts in a general aviation aircraft than arguably any aircraft before or since. From the groundbreaking canard wing configuration to the all-composite airframe to the revolutionary all-glass cockpit and a service ceiling that still puts many modern aircraft to shame, the Starship remains an unforgettable sight. Look at the state of it, lads. Isn't it only gorgeous looking? It's mad looking, right? Now, one of the nicest pictures I saw was of the cockpit. Look at this. So it's a modern, right, glass cockpit, but it's like, 1980s modern, 1990s modern. And I have to say, this looks beautiful. It just looks stunning. There's nothing else like it, do you know? And really looking forward to this. You can see he's got the tablet in there, and this is just going to be one of those, a release that you just go, yes, one please, I need it in me hangar. But look at the cut of this. Isn't it gorgeous looking? Absolutely gorgeous looking. So really, really looking forward to this. The initial Starship, of course, lacked a feature many take for granted today, a GPS receiver. Instead, it relied on a network of nearby nav aids to estimate its position. And as a tribute to this era, the Black Square are going to offer this pre-GPS nav system alongside the modern variant, which is absolutely great. So Nick's dedication extends beyond mere functionality. He also seems determined to capture the essence of the Starship's era in every detail. Expect to see details like the slow to warm up cathode ray tubes, a touch of nostalgia for those who remember the days of the pre-digital cockpits, and apparently we'll be able to update the navigation database using floppy disks. How cool is that, right? Even the vast amount of electronics on board won't escape our attention. As Nick explains, users will be also able to monitor the heat generated by the immense quantity of electronics in the aircraft throughout the tablet interface and manage the cooling fans and keep the airflow on whilst keeping the systems cool. There's a staggering 230 possible failures and 172 circuit breakers to manage. right? So you're going to need a couple of friends around when you're flying this one. You know, put them on the couch. What do we press next? Press that one, Murphy. It looks like the big red switch. Right, now what do we do? But yes, so I got to have a chat with Nick over at Expo, and I'm really excited about this. He's super passionate about this. He's like, yeah, no, I'm going to put this in. And then I started to do that, and I was like, we'll put 2 of them in there. It's incredible stuff, right? No news yet of a release date, but this is coming along very, very nicely. And big shout out as well to Just Flight, because with the tutorial videos and getting Nick involved, it's a great way to kind of showcase what he's been working on. Now, moving on, this came out kind of under our radar. I actually have this plane, and well, we'll do a flight in it very soon. This is a cracker. Classic Airplane Simulations, they've released a Piper J3 Cub for the sim, right? And maybe the moment that many vintage aviation simmers have been waiting for, a proper rendition of the classic J3 Cub. We're happy to report that Classic Aircraft Simulations have now released this version of the beloved classic, promising to deliver an authentic and immersive virtual experience. By most early accounts, it's an excellent debut from the developer, who has ambitious plans for the future. The Classic Aircraft Simulations J3C65 leverages the latest Microsoft FlightSim CFD flight model tech. This, combined with the proprietary engine and airframe simulation enhancement system, ensures simmers will experience a more accurate flight dynamic. Now, some of the features, I've flown this just to see can I fly it. This thing feels like an aeroplane flying. It's super slow, but there's something so graceful about it. It is stunning. It's stunning. Hand prop start procedure, engine start simulation, bespoke full CFD flight model, engine damage and failure, not to mention the landing gear, physics-based animations, aircraft state conditions persistence, variety of aircraft options, including your Tundra tires, landing gear failure and hard landing. You can actually bust the landing gear. It's hilarious. Compact hideable custom avionics, along with a transponder and radio. Tablet for the aircraft settings, enhanced vibration and camera movement effects, synchronized high dynamic range engine sounds. It sounds lovely. Animated passengers, if you want. Custom pilot passenger models. Landing gear failure, it's already there. Prop strike is there. On and on and on. It's a cracker, right? And some more pictures there. And the detailing on this is superb as well. The aircraft is available now. You can pick it up using Contrail. And it's about $20. And it's also coming to the sim market soon. Lads, if you like the Cub, if you like the, you know what I mean, the kind of low and slow bush flying, this has to be on your list. It's a beautiful, beautiful plane. The real classic. There's one of these in Weston, and there's actually one not too far from me, the J3. Very, very popular. It is gorgeous. But yes, you know, a sneeze or a gentle fart, and that'll affect the flight model in the real world in these. You know what I mean? But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Shirley Dev is here. Did anyone see the video Microsoft official posted about FlightSim Expo? They had a video in it where they were panning around. Yeah, that's right. I would have thought someone would have reviewed the video. That's because someone took the bulb out of the F. Can't tell you who that was, though. Right, moving on abruptly. Flying Iron. Here's a name that we know when it comes to warbirds. Well, Flying Iron, they're nearing the release of the Focke-Wulf 190A-8, the Verger for Microsoft Flight Sim. And they also previewed their B-17 as well. So, an unexpected development update from vintage aircraft developers following Big Radio's brief. I think I have that. If not, I do have that. Yeah, right. The Focke-Wulf 190. This thing, right? So we saw the 109, the Messerschmitt 109, and now we're going to have the 190 on the way. The team revealed through their social media channels that testing for the iconic World War II warbird will commence very, very soon. Accompanying the announcement were several stunning images showcasing the beautifully rendered exterior and indeed the cockpit, hinting at the high level of craftsmanship and attention to detail. This thing looks absolutely stunning, lads. So the Focke-Wulf 190, this is the Germans' equivalent of probably the P-51, right? It's an awful lot bigger and bulkier than the 109, right? It's a huge airplane. So, also known as the Shrike, it's renowned for its formidable combat performance during the Second World War, and Flying Iron are aiming to bring this experience to life within the sim. Look at the cut of that, look. The upcoming release set to join Flying Iron Simulation's impressive roster, which already includes the Spitfire, the Lightning, the Hellcat, and the 109, both of which have been highly praised for their historical accuracy and immersive flight experiences. They also previewed their upcoming B-17, and not near release yet. They're still working on it, but as you can see from some of the 3D rendered models here, well, it looks incredible. The team expressing their delight at the progress made on the exterior, and according to Flying Iron, incredible attention to detail is being paid to every rivet and panel. Over the coming months, we should expect some more updates. There's also a rumor going that these guys are working on multi-position stuff. That's all I can say on that. Derby, good to see you. But yeah, this looks absolutely incredible as well. So Micropose, let's see what they can do. Flying Iron, they've already established the trust in terms of their capabilities and the standards in which they can release. So it's going to be interesting to see what Micropose can do with theirs. But as for the Focke Wolf, it just looks class, doesn't it? It very, very well detailed.
Big switch, good buddy.
Sweet Damage Airliners Live, you're very welcome in, lads. A very happy Wednesday. You've been watching real world planes, no doubt, or it could have been a stream. And well, you're very welcome in. Hello and welcome to the news. We're catching up with all the flight sim news after FlightSim and of course all the headlines making their way to us this week. So you're very welcome in. Let me see. Margie is here. Good to see you. How's it going, Murph? Really nice to see you at the show. Did you buy anything or get some new ideas at the Expo?
Good buddy.
Spearsy, you're very welcome in. Thank you for the resub. 21 months. You absolute ledge. Thank you very much indeed. Welcome in, Airliners Live. Thank you for the raid. Derby, you're very welcome in as well. And thank you also very, very much indeed. And Margie, yeah, I didn't buy anything, but loads of ideas. Loads of ideas. We'll go through it all here now in a bit. But yeah, from Flying Iron, the Focke Wolf, just class, right? Great news. Now, big radials, well, they've previewed the Lockheed Jetstar, for Microsoft Flight Simulator. In an exciting bit of news, big radials have finally broken their silence with a much anticipated, albeit extremely brief, update for the next project for the sim. After a year of quiet development since the release of the Norseman, the team have now reassured the community that they are still hard at work behind the scenes on the iconic Lockheed Jetstar. For months, simmers have speculated about the team's status with no new announcements or updates except for those shared on the company's Discord. Many were left wondering if the devs were still active. Well, they are. Big Radials have put those concerns to rest, reaffirming their commitment to creating the Lockheed Jetstar for Microsoft Flight Simulator. You can see some images here now. Look at the state of this, right? Isn't this gorgeous? There won't be a surprise if you've been tracking the list of developments for Microsoft Flight Sim over at MSFS The Jetstar has been there for almost a year already. But look at the cut of this, right? Magnificent. What makes the aircraft so special? Well, first flew in the 1960s, the aircraft was amongst the first dedicated business jets, offering unparalleled speed, range, and luxury for its time. Its quad engine configuration and distinctive design set it apart from other aircraft. Anyone over this side of the pond, you'll see where the engines are actually not built into the wing. They're actually slightly above to the rear, similar to what Learjet kind of, I won't say copied, that's what Learjet did, but it looks very familiar to other aircraft that were built mainly by Hawker Siddeley, right? But anyway, Elvis Presley, right? You know, your man who looks like me. He added to the Jetstar's glamour. He used the aircraft as his personal transport, which highlighted its combination of performance and luxury, right? It's Elvis's jet. It's the Elvis jet. Anyway, the design features 4 engines mounted on pods at the rear, which were quite unusual for its time, and they contributed to the unique appearance and performance capabilities. Inside, it featured advanced avionics for the era, and also a spacious cabin designed for comfort, accommodating up to 10 passengers. Its versatility extended beyond civilian use. The Jetstar, of course, employed by various governments for VIP transport, including that of the United States Air Force, and it was designated as a C-140. The teaser image released by Big Radials offers a glimpse into the external model and also a bit of the internal stuff going on in here. Not much else for now, but we know they are actively working on it. And I think for anyone who likes the classic jets, I mean, this is going to be right up there with your 146 and, you know, your Fokker F-28. This is more the business line of the 60s. I'm really looking forward to this. You know, it is a very unique looking aircraft, and Big Radials, I love what they do. So this is going to be class. So great news there, right? Now, if Elvis could fit in it, so can you. That should have been the slogan, yeah. It's a 125 on steroids. Yeah, the Hawker Siddeley Wombat. Right? We know our stuff, Wombat. We know our stuff. Very like the Hawker Siddeley 125. I knew a man who crashed a Hawker Siddeley 125. It was a 125-700. The Irish government jet got it. Anyway, that's a long story. Parallel 42 making headlines in a couple of places. Well, they have released their A320 immersion package for the sim. If anyone has the immersion package, you can now pick this up. It's specifically for the A320. You buy it as an add-on and you pop it into SimFX. It's priced at about $15 and the add-on promises to bring a new level of visual realism to your virtual A320 flights. It works on the default Asobo, the latest INI A320, and also the Payware Phoenix A320, or even Latin VF4's A320 family. I have to say, some of the effects, I've flown this with the effects and they are very, very good. The cloud effect, I think, is one of the most immersive. When you're flying through the clouds and you break out, it's done really, really well. I have to say now, it's stunning, right? Anyway, cloud illumination, contrails have all been improved. The engine vortices, cold start, condensation, heat blur, ingest vortices, hot break, smoke, skid marks, bejesus, St. Elmo's fire, right? Electrical discharges during thunderstorms. You name it, they've added them all in. And this is pretty much back at home at what, Parallel 42. In actual fact, this is what Raoul from FS Reborn started with, all the immersion packages, right? So you can see them starting to come into here now, and it's great. So you can pick it up. It's over in Parallel 42 and now Contrail for about $15. And if you're flying the A320 quite a bit, I recommend it because it just gives you that extra visual fidelity when you're, in the aircraft or going external view. It just adds so many visual effects. It looks very, very good indeed. Now, staying with, no, we're not, we're moving on, but more about Parallel 42 later. Skyward Simulations. Well, they've announced a Cessna Citation C680. It's the Sovereign Plus for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Look at this thing, right? So, Skyward Simulations, a rising name in flight sim community, just unveiled their next project, the Cessna Citation C80 or C680 Sovereign Plus. This announcement follows their successful debut of the Diamond DA50 RG, which was well received by the community. Jeff Faviano is here. Jeff, it's good to see you. 11 months. Good to see you at the Expo. It was a good time. Tell me you didn't get sick. They call it the Vegas flu, seemingly. And then we were talking about the colour of, right, people, it went green, seemingly, right? But I was all right. Any sickness was self-caused because I might have drank more than what I should have. But thank you very, very much indeed, Jeff. It was a pleasure getting to meet you over in Expo, and I hope you had a ball. The heat on the roof on Saturday night, Jesus. But yeah, it was great. Great. A couple of people I know got the bit. Oh, did they? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no, so far so good. Touch wood now, so far so good. But that's the last thing you want, isn't it? Commander Freezer's here. It's good to see you, man. Drinking too much is quite the achievement for an Irishman. It is. Oh God, it is. Yeah. Give us a target and just keep drinking. Do you know? But it was a great expo. It really, really was. Jeff was flat out busy. He was flying with Thrustmaster on Saturday, and then he was driving with Thrustmaster on Sunday. So I think Jeff is the only person in the world that drove a truck sim at FlightSim Expo. Brilliant. I love it, right? I love it. And guys, a man who needs no introduction, but if you haven't already, do ramble over to Jeff's YouTube channel and tons of content, ridiculous amount of content, and thank you very, very much indeed. So yeah, look, Skyward Simulations, as I said, they released the DA50. This is kind of a step up, right? They're taking on the challenge of bringing a Cessna Citation C680 Sovereign Plus to the sim. It was known for its exceptional performance, comfort, and advanced avionics. It's a favourite among business jet enthusiasts. Skyward Simulations aim to capture the essence of the remarkable aircraft, promising a high-fidelity representation that should delight Microsoft Flight Sim pilots, right? While full details and pricing are still forthcoming, the development team has shared that the project is in its early stages. However, it seems that Boris from Boris Sound Works will once again collaborate with the team, ensuring the C680 will sound fantastic. Not much else for now, and we're just going to wait on some further details, but this is a beautiful, beautiful jet. This is, it's the C680. This is a direct competitor, I think, to what the Embraer did with their, what were they called? Was it the Legacy? But a beautiful looking aircraft. Stunning. Cian Lafford, good to see you. The C680 has been needed for a while. It's a common airplane around here. Nice. Yeah, over this neck of the woods, it's predominantly Learjet, Bombardier Learjets. But yeah, it looks stunning. They need to learn how to pour proper portions of gin, says Adam. So over in Ireland, you have a measure. The measure goes into the glass and then you top it up with the mixer. In America, they fill the cup with, you know, the drink, and then they top it up with the mixer. It's as in like a line. I was drinking gin and Sprite for the most part, and couldn't tell you where they got the gin. It tasted like more, but like you're talking 3/4 of the glass was gin. You know, you drink it and like, whoa, brilliant, right? Brilliant. And yeah, it led to many headaches, but it was brilliant. So yes, exciting news here from Skyward Simulations. They're working with Orbex on this. They called it Project Serpent, and it is that, of course, of the Citation 680, the Sovereign Plus. Really, really excited for that. Now, in other news for our heli pilots, hello there. To Blaze, welcome in. At hotels in Vegas, they free pour alcohol and rarely use a jigger. Isn't it brilliant? Isn't it brilliant? Like, why are we not going back there, right? So Tags Hangar, these guys are doing great stuff when it comes to helicopters. My absolute favorite helicopter in the sim has to be the Alouette 3. I just love how the thing flies. I've flown in it. This, however, the UH-1H Huey, a very famous chopper, right? So, Tags Hangar have just released their highly anticipated Huey for Microsoft Flight Sim, bringing a legendary bird to life in stunning detail. Like, look at the cut of this, lads, right? The Huey, the symbol of rotary wing aviation, has served in numerous military and civilian applications worldwide throughout its long and storied history. Now, simmers can take the aircraft to the skies in their own virtual Huey, available in military, civilian, and high-skid variants. Tags Hangar has pulled out all the stops to deliver an immersive and realistic helicopter experience. The Huey boasts a meticulously crafted flight model that captures the unique handling characteristics of the iconic machine. Some of the screenshots here, and when you look at the model work, it is absolutely class. Jeff got to fly in a Huey. What? The sound of it biting the air under load is so good. Oh, I haven't flown it yet. I'm mad to fly this, but I did load it up just to see what it looked like, and I gotta say, the external textures, how the thing looks, it is super nice, super nice. And as I said, it comes with a load of different liveries, and also you have a ton of options here. To have the, you know, the little check sheet clipboard thingy inside in the cockpit, and it's absolutely brilliant, right? Murph, I need more news from Murph. You would save me a lot of time with all the outlets I read and watch. Right, I do the thing to make the thing easy. I cheat. That's what I do, and it works, right? Brilliant. But yeah, look, the textures and the modeling of this aircraft, superb. And then the sounds are absolutely incredible as well. And he's also put in a number of different features. We can see here we got firefighting. You can also put in a HEMS model. And of course, not to mention, you have the military variant, right? So 3 versions, choosing from military, civilian, and high skids, authentic sound package, extensive attachments to customize your aircraft with over 30 options, from external fuel tanks to mission specific gear. Damage simulation, experience realistic damage, adding a new level of challenge to authenticity to your flights. An advanced flight model, a wide range of liveries, there's 40 detailed liveries. Systems accuracy, firefighting capabilities, ambulance equipment, and there's also a ton of detailed documentation and checklists. The aircraft, it's now released. You can pick it up over on flightsim.to. And it's priced at £29.46. So about 35 bucks. This is something I will be flying. If we have time today, we'll give it a look. I haven't turned it on. I just literally loaded in to see, you know, it loaded in. And this needs its own kind of soundtrack when it flies. It's a Huey. It just, you know what I mean? It just needs its own, whatchamacallit? Soundtrack. It just does, right? Elaine loves the Huey. Yes. It flies great too, I think, better than the other ones, says Zaiti. Canoehead 2 says, and Murph does not use AI to make things easy. No, I don't. Right? What is the high skid model? This kind of stuff here, look. So you can get the firefighting equipment underneath, high skids, and you can put like steps on the stuff as well. CCR, you know it. CCR or Foster and Allen. Not Foster and Allen. But anyway, moving on. Just Flight, well, they brought with them a trailer of their upcoming RJ Professional, and it's also an overview of what the aircraft is going to be all about. So I went over to Scott. He was super busy. Scott and Martin were over at their booth at Expo, and it's great when Just Flight are there because they do Flight Sim Expo special discounts if you do get the chance to go over and see them. So the video goes on for a good 11 minutes, but I want to kind of just skip ahead so you can see some of the detailing that Just Flight are putting into this aircraft. And it's very similar. I mean, it effectively, we know the BAE 146. Well, the Avro RJ is kind of like, it was the next generation of the 146. And I got to say, it looks absolutely classic. So we'll put in a bit of this. Yes. And have a look at the video and check out the details. So the RJ Professional Series coming soon by Just Flight. This video, they go into detail about what the aircraft is all about. Just Flight explain what you can come to expect when this aircraft is released. And again, it's just the next stage, if you like, from the BAE 146, which anyone who owns that aircraft, well, we know how good it is. This looks to be just a very fine evolution of this aircraft when Avro took it over and they called it the RJ. Some of the things I've noticed here, and we saw this now with the latest update of the 146, the overhauled interior cabin. You can play your music. They also updated their EFB. They've done a ton of work to this thing. So I'm really looking forward to the release date. Some of the details they've managed to add in, like, they're absolutely incredible. Look at the antennas here up on the top of the aircraft. It looks fantastic, right? So yeah, great work coming in from Just Flight. And they have a ton of other aircraft on the way as well. Other notable aircraft would be the Fokker 100. They're working on a Tornado and a host of other stuff. So really, really exciting news coming from Just Flight. So moving on. Did anyone manage to see the fly-by-wire simulations A380 preview that they showed over at FlightSim So over on the FS Elite stage, where we rambled over to, fly-by-wire simulations, they gave a 45-minute presentation on the upcoming A380X for the sim. The 45-minute video was a full flight from San Francisco to Las Vegas and highlights just how far the team have come in developing the product. Let's have an owl gawk, right? You'll hear the sounds, right? Just have a look at this, lads. If anyone who's excited for this aircraft, just like sit down or something, right? Jesus. Now, you're getting a good idea of what the thing can and what it can't do. As I said, this is 45 minutes. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring it all the way up to takeoff, right? Just get to listen to, just, you know what I mean? To get a sense. Mind your ears now. Let's skip ahead here a little bit. Mr. Square Lee in the house. Good to see you, man. Isn't that something? Like, absolutely huge, right? Check this out. So it's a very, very impressive kind of a rundown that they gave us, showcasing what the A380 is kind of building towards. And we can catch the landing here. The last thing we'll have a gawk at, as Angel 15 is here. It's good to see you. It's incredible, this, isn't it? I should really change the stream to say Murph flying the A380. Imagine the view numbers
40,
then.
30, 20, retard.
Like, look at the avionics, look.
Hello there.
Hello there. Just pretend you're flying it the whole time, right? Yes, yes, butter. Oh, brilliant. I've just landed the A380. There's so much excitement upcoming about this aircraft, and well, from a trailer like that, where they showed the demo to full flight, a 45-minute flight. The video is there now. You can find it on FS Elite. It's also on the Fly-by-Wire YouTube channel. So, how did I get the A380 early? Right? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I've gotten very good, Jeff. Yeah, I've learned how to use it. But no release date yet. This is still. Am I right in saying this is still? It's still a freeware project, right? Which is insane when you think about it. Very, very exciting. And it's great to see the avionics and everything that they've baked into the thing. It sounds great as well. So really, really exciting news by Fly-by-Wire. Now, Bluebird Simulations, there was a bit of head scratching when these guys jumped to the stage. It's very exciting, right? They were sharing more information about their upcoming Boeing 757 and also a 767. And they showed some pictures and they showed some video of it as well. And, well, we can see from it. When Bluebird first mentioned they were going to bring a 757 into the sim, and they're working with Just Flight with this, you know, they were saying it's not going to be study level, but we'll do what we can, right? Hey, Mr. Tommy is here. Good to see you, man. Did your bags arrive home? They didn't lose your luggage on the way back, did they? You poor old devil. And thanks for the chocolate sweet. But anyway, they said it wasn't going to be a study level aircraft. They completely changed that entire mindset. Now it's going to be a very high fidelity study level aircraft. And you can see that now starting to take shape from the visuals that we're getting, both internal and external. I'm very excited about this. But we don't have it yet, right? They haven't released it. And they're talking about the 767, and that's coming along really, really nice as well. But they haven't released that. And they talk about all the highlights, right? The most accurate and immersive 757 ever created for Flight Simulator. They didn't actually say Microsoft Flight Simulator, bearing in mind Flight Factor have a 7.5 over in the world of X-Plane. It'll have a complex electrical system simulating 20 electrical buses along with its circuit breakers, accurate flight dynamics. These guys were saying that, you know, they have a dozen real-world 757 pilots working on their team, which is absolutely nuts. MDA is here, tier 3 for 18 months. My dude, thank you very, very much indeed for all the support. You're very kind. I hope you're well, man. So yeah, look, lots of great news, but nothing really kind of tangible. I did think it was fascinating when he was on saying that, you know, he buys different aviation parts and he measures them. His wife is like, what are you doing with that thing? I need it for work. I need to measure the thing with right. And that's what he does. So there's no doubt there is a ton of detail going into the 757 and well, the 767, I will refresh that. The 767 hopefully going to be getting some love as well, because that was shown off in the that was shown off in the preview as well. And then the last bit of news, which was head scratching, they announced a 787. Now people were saying, oh, not another 787. Come on, Matt. Right now, I hear you. However, currently, the only way you can get your hands on the 787, be it the Horizon or anyone else's modded versions, well, you need to own the premium deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's no other way to separately get the 787.
Behave.
Well, you know, legally, right? However, it would appear that Bluebird are going to make their own standalone 787. So for those, you know, who don't have the premium deluxe, well, now they have an option, right? Hayden, thank you very much indeed for the bits. A hype train is close, it says. Be to Jesus. But yeah, I don't know. 7.5 and 7.8, I wonder if they have any X-quality wing developers. Mr. Moss, that's a very good question. And I don't know. Like, I mean, Bluebird, when they started out, it was a small team and it wasn't going to be, you know, study level. Now they're saying it's going to be study level. So who knows who they have? Unless, now I could be wrong on this. I'm almost certain some of the developers from Captain Sim, as in the old day Captain Sim, I believe they're working with Bluebird on this as well. But that could be a complete and utter rumor. Yeah, right? Never let the truth get in the way of a rumor. But anyway, it was a great kind of, it was a great preview. But it left me kind of saying, well, listen, you know, you're talking about more and it's going to do this and it's going to do that. We need to see, like, we need the thing before we can start talking about the next stages. If you're going to say, hey, you know, this is by far the best simulation of a 757 ever. Yeah, but we've never got, that's only you telling us. That's like, you know what I mean? The car dealership salesman. It's the best car in the world. Have a look at this, friends. Look at this car right here. Remember that fella, right? You don't know that fella? Like, so that's kind of what we're listening to.
That's right, friends. Look at this car right here.
Right?
The line must be drawn here.
That's the wrong button. Oh, Jesus, did you hear that?
Now, you could push it in. You could pull it in. Or tow it in. Right here.
That fella. Google him. 1980s car salesman. But anyway, listen, it's exciting news for sure. 3 very awesome airliners. The 7.5, I actually flew on a 7.5 from Shannon to Chicago. I flew on a 7.6 from Chicago back to Shannon. Beautiful aircraft. But yeah, Bluebird Simulations, they flat out, they have a very impressive roadmap ahead of what they're doing. Now, Inibills, we're into the world of scenery now, and Inibills have released Nairobi Kenyatta Airport. And this one kind of appeared kind of under the radar as well. They just released it, right? And the scenery, which represents the studio's first venture into Africa, is available now from the Inibills website, priced at £17.99. That's about $23 US. And there is a video here to look at. The video will do better than pictures, but you'll get an idea of the detail gone into this. So this is a classic Inibills project. It's just huge, right? Attention to detail and just how much stuff can we get into our scenery. So well, let's go and have a quick look at this. And just to give us the idea, do I have any kind of African music? I don't. I'll play a bit of maybe Irish music. That'll work, right? No, it won't. Let me see. What'll work here? Let's find a button here, lads. Jesus, will that do? Yeah, this'll do, right? So we'll play this and let's have a look. So as we can see, it's another kind of quintessential Indie Builds release showcasing that of Nairobi Airport. It looks incredible, right? Now, this is it's an airport that I have. We're going to be showcasing this. I probably won't get a chance tonight because, well, it's busy tonight. But as you can see from the video, looks very, very impressive, right? And the feature list is nuts, right? And of course, you can use the Indie Manager compatibility to configure the scenery that works best with your hardware performance. So great news from Indie Builds. They've pushed out what looks to be a cracker. I'll be showcasing this scenery. We'll probably do a flight there over the coming days. And great news from Indie Builds. They're at full tilt. Do you know what I mean? Fly and dive. Good to see you. Hope you're well, man. Now, moving on. Tur Western Aerodrome has been released by our friends over at Burning Blue Design. It's Silverstone's nearest aerodrome, and it's now available just ahead of the British Grand Prix for Formula One. So Burning Blue Design, the development team behind a number of popular general aviation airfields in the United Kingdom, well, they've released their latest scenery for the platform. Tur Western Aerodrome Echo Golf Bravo Tango can now be purchased from the company's website, with a release on Orbex Direct and Microsoft Marketplace to follow shortly. The aerodrome is popular with private pilots in the UK due to its position in the countryside of Buckinghamshire, as well as its proximity to the Silverstone racetrack, which is home, of course, to the British Grand Prix. Here's one for you. I actually drove Silverstone. I actually raced at Silverstone. And I was fast. I was damn fast. I just wasn't racing against anyone else. But anyway, the airport was quite important back in the early days, in the 1940s, for the Second World War. It operated as RAF Tur Western. And then after the war, it kind of fell into disrepair, and then they closed it. It opened again later on, many years later on, becoming a new general aviation airport. And, it got completely done up and made look lovely, right? The scenery is now available from Burning Blue Design. Do I have the devil here? Do we have a price? Hang on, we have a little look here now as that web page tries to load. But anyone who knows Burning Blue Design, right? They make these beautiful small airports. The lads go out, they take hundreds or thousands of photographs, and they go off and they do their thing. £12.99. You can grab it there directly from their website. And again, it's another airport I'm going to be checking out very, very soon. But it looks very pretty, and some of the pictures are nice. That's not it at all. And Murph, the pictures look really, really nice. So we'll be showcasing this one off very, very soon. But great news from Burning Blue Design. Now, this one that I clicked open a second ago, that I shouldn't, it comes from MK Studios, and it is their updated Keflavik version 2 airport for the sim. So MK Studios, who were at FlightSim Expo, have released the version 2 of their Keflavik International Airport, as it serves the capital city of Iceland over by Reykjavik, and as well as the entire capital region. It's a hub for Icelandic airlines, Iceland Air and Play, and it is visited by a large variety of airliners with the seasonal and year-round destinations to both Europe and North America. MK Studios' Keflavik version 2 features a detailed rendition of the airport and the terminal buildings. The terminal features terminal interiors, as my TV tries to turn off, while the apron vehicles and other GSE add to the immersion. The scenery extends its borders beyond the airport itself, with the inclusion of several points of interest, as well as the rendition of Reykjavik Airport, Bravo India Romeo Kilo. This latter airport is located centrally in Reykjavik itself and only offers domestic flights. Features include custom jetways and vehicle models, a correct runway profile and elevation data, up-to-date ground layout, and also various points of interest. Of course, MK Studios have also incorporated a handcrafted terminal building, quality interior model, and it is compatible with AI traffic. You can buy this from the IndieBuild store for the special discounted price of $14.25. It doesn't say anything about an upgrade price if you had version 1, right? So it's just there. But you can see from the features, there's a lot there, and I like the way they included some points of interest as well. So there are some nice pictures here. We'll fly through them. And it's always interesting landing at this airport in particular. We've done so quite a bit on the Bremen routes because the weather coming in here can be anything, right? I mean, you could go straight into a storm. It could be snowing. It's mad, right? So it's a very challenging airport to fly to. And it's a great kind of stop as well if you're heading across the pond in one of the slower, smaller aircraft. It's just a nice little spot to kind of take a breather from if you're flying out of the UK, maybe Preston or even out of Ireland. It looks the job though, right? It looks stunning. Great work here. It looks very, very nice indeed. So it's now available. Now, I Blue Yonder, they've announced Portland Kilo Papa Delta X-Ray version 2, the major US airport slated for a massive upgrade to bring it to its current standards. In a post on their website, scenery developer iBlue Yonder confirmed that version 2 of Portland will be coming to Microsoft Flight Sim. Located in Portland, Oregon, in the Pacific Northwest region of the United States, the Real PDX is undergoing a multi-year project aimed at transforming the airport into a modern and enjoyable experience for travellers. The $2 billion renovation project, dubbed PDX Next, well, it's expected to be completed in 2025. It features new and renovated concourses as well as an expanded main terminal. You can see here from the pictures what's being added to the current airport. It's absolutely massive, right? So, Bill Womack says that KPDX has undergone extensive real-world rebuilding and renovation in recent years, and the time has come to create a simulated version worthy of this gorgeous and ambitious project. And we can see here from some of the pictures, just some really nice options going in here. We flew into this only a couple of weeks ago, right? Looks very, very fancy. It's a work in progress of what is work in progress. So it's good to see Bill he's gone flat out here. So no other information. We don't have a release date or a price. But the good news is that a version 2 of Portland is on the way. I mean, look at that screenshot there. Isn't that impressive? I think that looks really, really well. Very fancy. Great use of reflections here, PBR stuff on the ground. It looks fantastic. Do you know? Canoehead says, I've flown in and out of KPDX. Ooh, nice. The carpet was much better than the ones in Vegas. The carpet in Vegas was shocking, wasn't it? Shocking. But yeah, it was to kind of dull the senses a little bit. Now, other news. We saw this release while I was over in Expo. City Update 8, Las Vegas has been released for the sim. Now, there's a couple of conflicts between this and, of course, the excellent scenery by Flight Tampa. It needs an update, as in Flight Tampa does. But anyway, as planned, Microsoft Flight Sim have launched their newest city update, offering a free expansion focused on the vibrant city of Las Vegas. The update is particularly timely, coinciding with FSExpo, which took place just last weekend. The update focuses on the overall cityscape, but it's inevitably to point out a few highlights, including the already iconic Sphere, the major hotels and resorts such as the Bellagio, Caesar's Palace, and the Rio. There is a trailer here. They've also included a ton of other little areas. We'll play the video because it shows you some of the other areas to know what they're doing. I don't think I can play their music. They give out to me. But if I go in here and play some of my own music, that might work, shouldn't it? It should work, Murphy. Bit of casino music. What's this one do? That'll work. So we can see from it, right? So the Boulder City, the Las Vegas Lake, Frenchman Mountain, Sunrise Manor, downtown Las Vegas, the Stratosphere is modelled, the Wynn Golf Club, the Link Promenade, the Mirage Hotel, all places I've been to. This is mad. The Bellagio, there's a great beer park across the road, and the Rio Convention Centre. The MGM Grand is there. I think Jamie stayed there. New York is modelled, and Excalibur. Now, point to note, these are all photogrammetry kind of areas, right? Red Rock Canyon, where Jepson went out for a ramble. It's photogrammetry, so I have to say, you know, I still think that Flight Tampa is just, they've more details in there. That's just me, right? But this is free, and of course they have the Sphere in there, which is always deadly crack looking at. And that's a free update. It's a free update in the sim. So great stuff. After installing the update, simmers can expect a more immersive experience when flying over Las Vegas. So there we have it. Jesus, we're getting to it. Right, moving on. Flight Beam Studios, they have released San Francisco for Microsoft Flight Sim. So we checked out the other one. And well, now here we have today the jewel in the crown of the Captain's Edition KSFO. And well, there was a lot of hype about this because, well, we saw a release of KSFO a few weeks ago. This is the one everyone was kind of waiting for, right? Flightbeams built the scenery from an extensive on-site survey to ensure every aspect is true to life. Additionally, they've also implemented optimization techniques to ensure the scenery runs well on most systems. Extensive, high quality and detailed realistic 4K textures, detailed Flightbeam Gen 5 dynamic jetways, multi-layered realistic digitally hand-painted textures with PBR, visual docking guidance systems at various gates, detailed interior, animated inset and elevated runway guard lights, dense amount of custom tarmac objects. The list goes on and on and on. The thing is photorealistic. It's a photorealistic scenery. It looks incredible, lads. Look, I'll just stay at that. It looks amazing. And again, another scenery we'll check this one out soon as well. I've so much flying to do. I've done no flying yet. I'm home a day and I haven't done nothing. But the news is busy, right? But you can see from these pictures, I mean, it looks very, very good, doesn't it? Like, flying in and out of the Bay Area, again, is challenging because you always have that low mist. It's always foggy. And the parallel runways that operate at the same time, class looking. Absolutely class. So it looks like they've done a great job here. The last shot in particular is great. It's available now for about $20, and you can pick it up on Contrail or indeed over at Flightbeam's own site, right? Leo Taylor, good to see you. SFO is magnificent, but it's missing some of the features that BMW World did, or BM World did. That's the one, BM World did. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I need to check it out. It looks incredible. And it's as I said, it's very photorealistic, but sure, the team must have spent weeks making all this, right? Are there any 777 wheels in the car park? Oh dear. Moving on, Orbex, they're hot on the heels of another release. They've released Foxtrot 62 Hayfork, California. It's a destination for bush pilots in the United States. So pilots looking for a test to test their skills. Well, they can take to the skies over Northern California with Orbex's latest release, Foxtrot 62 Hayfork. The scenery pack, developed by TAF Studio, focuses on Hayfork Airport and its surrounding area, offering a unique blend of challenging bus strips. The star of the show for many will be the 3 bush landing strips. Hayfork Bally Lookout features a nail-biting 295-foot strip perched at a daunting 6,260 feet, demanding precision flying and stall-capable aircraft, not to mention a madman behind the yoke. A slightly less intimidating option awaits just a few miles east, with a 250-foot runway and cliffs for company. And don't be fooled by the extra length. A perfect touchdown is still essential. Thankfully, a more forgiving third strip sits nearby for those who want a smoother landing. We have a video here. We'll have a little look at it just to see what it's all about, and I'll press some buttons. So let me see. We'll do one of these and one of them, but one of these and one of them. Are we ready? So there we have it, a brand new release coming from Orbex. I have to say, it looks great. And again, they're doing a lot of work showcasing the Parallel 42 stuff. Do you notice that? Maybe it's because they're kind of dabbling in the Parallel 42 kind of backyard when it comes to these. But look at the state of that for a landing challenge. I mean, right? I can just picture it now. We'll all be there in our beautiful bush aircraft and you'll have a Muppet in a 747 trying to show off. Brilliant, right? So Hayfork is available now.
Look at this big Aegis.
You can pick it up. Available on Orbex. It's only around $10 US, and but it looks very, very good, right? Yeah. The Bush 777. Right. It has to be done, lads. It has to be done. So great stuff there. Now, also Orbex, they've released Detroit Landmarks Pack for the Sim. This is pretty cool, right? Just a few days ago, Orbex announcement about the upcoming Detroit Metropolitan Airport and Landmark Pack for the Sim. Well, today, the first part of the duo includes the Detroit Landmarks Pack. It's available now for purchase. Now, it should be known, Anybills did a awesome Detroit Metro Airport, and well, Orbex are doing pretty much the same. 40 or 52 custom buildings and structures, detailed representation of the waterfront, large amount of highly detailed generic models that replaces a lot of the photogrammetry. This is pretty nice. You can pick this up for around $10 as well if you like flying in and around Detroit. They've included the city. There's loads of landmarks to see, and as I said, it changes the photogrammetry to these 3D built objects, which looks, I have to say, it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? It looks stunning. bridges and all that sort of jazz. Anyone who's familiar with the Detroit skyline, well, you're going to find yourselves right at home. Viper Strike probably knows that stadium. Tigers, go Sports, you know. But it looks very, very impressive. As for the Detroit Metropolitan Airport, Orbix said it would follow up shortly after the release of the landmarks. There's still no release date for that. The studio hinted at potential bundle deals. So let's wait and see. So it's a new landmarks pack for Detroit. Now, moving on. Arrows Across America and also Hadrian's Wall 180 AD are coming to the marketplace this year. So we had a quick look at this a couple of weeks ago. The Time Machine Designs, the creative team behind the excellent Arrows Across America, and we had a look at their upcoming Hadrian's Wall project, have announced that their approval as a Microsoft Flight Sim marketplace partner. The achievement marks a milestone for both the team and the community, ensuring that the add-ons will soon be available for PC and Xbox users. It's pretty cool looking here. So the Arrows Across America, it's already available to download. It covers the mail routes from 1926 to 1934, the US mail routes. And they use these massive towers and beacons to navigate, which is insane when you think about it. You can see, you know, a very old photograph there of how these things used to be done. And they've put in kind of, you know, time-relevant vehicles and buildings and all the jazz. This would be an amazing journey to take in the sim because, well, it's how the mail routes used to operate. So they've included a number of historic routes, including Cam 5, 32, 4, 8, 18, and 26. There's quite a lot to go on there. Also with Hadrian's Wall, again, we were looking at this. So the team are replicating Hadrian's Wall as it was back all the way in the year 180 AD. Let me see. M&A, good to see you. You're welcome in. The arrows thing is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Damn, I'm good is here. Good to see you. The Hadrian's Wall one is fascinating because they've built it up in such a way that it's going to show the wall as it looked all the way back in 180 AD. So it's a great thing to explore. Hadrian's Wall, of course, separated Britannia to the south and the mad, you know, barbarians of the north. Basically, men wearing dresses, the mad Scots, you know, and that was the idea there. But it looks very, very interesting. And the detail and kind of scanning they managed to replicate here of this project, fascinating stuff. So this is something that Gibbo's going to absolutely love. I mean, he's going to be all over this, isn't he? But fantastic news. So the recent approval, hopefully we'll get to see this in the coming weeks and months in Microsoft Flight Sim. And as I said, the Hadrian's Wall thing, I don't know, is that like you'll fly it, you'll learn it and that'll be it? Or it could be the case that it is the Arrows Across America, the historic mail routes. That could be that's going to be a lot of fun flying, especially if you pick the same era aircraft. It could be class altogether. Now, moving on, RD presets. Well, they've released Geneva Airport for Microsoft Flight Sim. This is the second rendition of Geneva that we have. Red Wing did the others, I think. I think there could be another one. Jetstream or something did one. Yeah, Jetstream have announced they're going to do one, yeah. But anyway, RD Presets just launched their highly detailed version of Geneva, Lima Sierra Golf Golf for the sim. If you appreciate the finer details in airport scenery and enjoy flying daily routes across Europe, this one is for you. So, what do we know about it? Realistic replica of Geneva Airport, completely custom modelling and texturing, complete with PBR. Full custom high replica 3D interior, including 3D passengers, more than 1,000 clutter objects on the apron and surrounding areas, performance optimizations, accurate night lighting, ground traffic, the list goes on and on. As I said, Red Wing do a fairly decent one. This one looks quite good as well, and you can pick it up over on Contrail for about €20. This isn't a cheap one, but it looks the part. And it's how up Jesus? Is there a Skoda there? No. If there's a Skoda in the scenery, lads, you know it's just going to be good. But from the pictures, it looks quite detailed, doesn't it? It looks very nice. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this thing goes. I'll probably pick it up just to kind of compare it to the other one. You know what I mean? But it looks good. So, RD Presets are busy out there. Now, just before I went to Expo, we saw Aviotech released their freeware Frankfurt International. And I have to say, the day of release, ATC on VATSIM for Frankfurt was absolutely off the hook. It was so busy, right? But anyway, Aviotech, they have released its first scenery, and they made it freeware for Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot Frankfurt Airport, the busiest in Germany and one of the major aviation hubs in Europe. The best part, it's completely free. Aviotech making its entry into the Microsoft Flight Sim scenery community with a very generous offer. Frankfurt International Airport, one of the busiest and most significant airports in Germany, not to mention the world, have dedicated countless hours to studying, adapting and implementing the latest technology to bring the hub to life. The result is a scenery they claim to be of payware-like quality, powered by a list of notable features. Custom GSE and vehicles, animated jetways, GSX profile, custom ATC network, up-to-date taxiway layouts, custom signage. The list goes on and on and on. And well, I've seen this being streamed. It looks quite impressive, I have to say. They assure users that the project will continue to receive updates based on community feedback, while their own development roadmap. One of the anticipated updates includes the addition of Terminal 3, which is still under development. You can pick it up through Orbex, free of charge, lads. So anyone who wants to grab Frankfurt over in Germany, well, make sure you do that. Now, moving on. SoFly, they've announced a roadmap for their Eco Soundscapes. This is an add-on I picked up and showcased a week or two ago, and it adds in tons of custom sounds, completely changing the environments of your sim. It's actually really, really nice. But during FlightSim Expo, SoFly announced its roadmap for the Eco Soundscapes, their most recently released product. To start, they addressed that they are aware of feedback surrounding some missing sounds and some performance issues, and with that, they are redeveloping the engine to ensure that this won't be the case moving forward. Work is going well, and they hope to have it provided as a free update soon. Alongside this, the team confirmed that the sounds will be global. So instead of sounds based on placed locations, it will read data from the sim and then play more appropriate sounds. Again, a free update for all customers and on Xbox. In the meantime, SoFly said a few new sound sets will also come to PC and Xbox. This includes new aircraft sound effects like rattles and bumps, and also some ATC sounds based on the location. Some examples were shared during the show, and SoFly say that these updates are coming as quickly as possible and they want to get it right. So yeah, anyone who has the soundscapes, there's an update coming, which is pretty cool. Now, staying with SoFly, they also announced Cabin Announcements Pro for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Can we listen to this?
Good morning, Captain.
Aviation lads, great bunch of lads.
Morning, I've got your fuel report.
What?
Do you want cream with your coffee?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome on board your American Airlines flight to Las Vegas.
Thanks for the fuel report.
The final aircraft door is now closed, so please make sure all portable equipment is now in flight safe mode or switched off. Cabin crew, arm doors and prepare for the safety demo.
In preparation for departure, be certain that your seat back is straight up and your tray table is stowed.
Okay, so what's going on here? Well, a new product revealed by SoFly has revealed that the titled Cabin Announcement Pro, the all-new product, will include hundreds of regionalized voices for your ground crew, cabin crew, and pilots in a variety of scenarios. It includes localized accents across various parts of the world, along with emergency and normal operations, and even time-based events. Cabin Announcement Pro will take a bank of thousands of voice clips, bring them together for an organic experience, from your initial setup to arriving at your destination. You can experience multiple voice sets through your journey. Ground crew will give you your fuel and dispatch reports, whilst cabin crew will be there to offer you coffee and perform their safety duties. Each voice set comes with multiple variations, all randomly generated to help give you a sense of immersion for each flight. Unlike other products, SoFly says this will be a one-time payment with all voice sets included, with no need for a subscription. SoFly say it'll release later this year for the sim, and it'll be on Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. So good news from SoFly. They're doing more sounds, which is kind of cool, right? I don't know, soundscapes, and then they have cabin announcements. Maybe do the whole lot together. That's just me, but it looks interesting to say the least. Now, Flight Control Replay version 5, it has been updated, and it's available now. And we have the version 5 summer trailer here, which we'll have a look. Fabio Merlo, he was announced as an official partner to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It demonstrates pretty much how it works and the changes that are there. So we'll have a look at this. Now, there's music. We can't have music because, well, we'll get no copyright, but we'll do, Jesus, then what will we do? We'll do one of these, I suppose, and just play a bit of music here in the background. So let's have it out, listen. Yeah, that works. So Flight Control Replay, as you can imagine, it's a replay tool, and this is actually being baked into the brand new Flight Sim 2024. Don't worry, I said the same. I was like, Jesus! They were all right. So there's the ability to kind of have live saves, right? Not to mention toolbar integration. You can add in other aircraft. You can do all sorts of cool stuff. It's a replay tool. And this is going to be coming to Flight Sim 2024. It also works with P3D, just to give a mention there. And the video that we're looking at here was put together by Aviation lads, done very, very well. Very handy add-on. The fact that it'll record your flights, you can replay them if you want to make movies, or even replay them if you want to jump back in to relive a certain moment of your flight again and again and again. You can also directly record movies and screenshots using the application that'll pop it in. Just gives you a lot of scope if you like making kind of content, right? Chase cam for recorded stuff only in 24. Yeah. So your chase cam and flyby, all that stuff is only going to be coming in 2024. And I think the flyby camera will only work in replay mode as well. But anyway, the update also comes with a price cut for new owners, or for owners of 4.5. They can get it for $825. The most hotly anticipated feature, of course, goes to the Phoenix and also the PMDG 737. The Dune ornithopter thingy that no one can pronounce right. I can't. Or maybe it's just me. That also got an update as well if you like flying that. So yeah, look, it's a replay tool. I have it. I don't really use it. I really should use it, but it is there. And it's available if you want to grab the update. So we're under savage pressure for time tonight, lads. It's very busy. Now it's looking at the Microsoft seminar at Flight Sim Expo, and well, some of the news in which they have released. So Microsoft, of course, took to the stage at Expo on Saturday talking about 2024. Jorg was there along with Sebastian, and they talked about some of the new features the team has been previewing. Now, they pretty much took their trailers. I mean, they did what we did, right? And they kind of expanded on, hey, this is what we actually do, or this is what we're actually doing, which was fair enough. But they will be continuing to support Microsoft Flight Sim for the nearby future. And after the announcement of 2024, a lot of people questioned the future and continued support for it. Microsoft is planning several more updates for Flight Sim 2020, which include city and world updates. So Jorg talked about the upcoming Flight Sim 2024. A breakdown of the trailer, Jorg started talking about the activities that are new and the technology powering it. Through a picture of Monument Valley taken in the sim, Jorg shared how the ground is now completely comprised of 3D versus a flat 2D texture. On top of this, the 3D ground and team then adds procedurally generated vegetation. There's almost about 30 different biomes in the simulator, which will add their own type of procedurally vegetation and ground details. And I gotta say, I mean, it looked absolutely incredible, right? So they'll have all new data that's going to render the area. The ground is 3D, and then there's this, procedurally generated areas. So I don't know, it might be the case, it mightn't be the exact same every time you visit the same location, but it looked very, very interesting. What was the other stuff here? The activities then, right? Jorg also shared Flight Sim 24 will see a larger focus on the airline simulation world, with AI aircraft are now more realistically modelled. They include real-world liveries. Also visible in the trailer, commercial aviation was previously shown as one of the new activities coming to the Microsoft Flight Sim, and Jorg confirmed that Builds is indeed making the A330, which Gibbo called, as many were speculating about it, including the 200 and 300 variants, which also have the GE and Rolls-Royce engines. Pretty nice. Adding to this, Sebastian shared that the sim will now allow you to go outside of the aircraft and complete pre-flight checklist items, such as removing the engine covers. That's very, very nice. Some of the other features then, on the technical side, he also shared that Microsoft Flight Sim has a lot more points of data compared to the predecessor. It allows developers to add more points of interaction within the sim, allowing for more accurate flight dynamics and simulation. Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 will feature ray trace shadows, in which we saw it here. And what we're looking at here, you can see that the shadows here on the switches are more defined than what, you know, the window or the side view pillar is putting on it. And this, however kind of small it is or how subtle it is, this makes a massive difference when it comes to the visual fidelity. So I'm looking forward to this and how they're going to make it work. He also said the ray tracing shadows and talking about the aerial advertisement activity. Seb went on to say how the new methods of simulation will impact on the aircraft. So basically, you know, you're flying your aircraft and you have your tow hook, you pick up the sign, the aircraft will react to that weight. I thought that was pretty cool. And even the animations of how it all comes together. They also mentioned something there when it came about, he didn't go into it. He mentioned that they're working in partnership with a company that does all these, you know, human models. Now, I kind of think you're going to be able to build your own avatar. And I think that there's a custom or customize tab. We saw that in the new marketplace. Perhaps you might be able to pick your own avatar and upgrade them or customize them if you like. Who knows, right? That's what it looks like. But anyway, it looks very, very interesting. Making the world feel more alive, York and Sebastian also announced several new features. York shared that there are now renewed default airports, developed once again by Gaia Simulations, and airports now include passengers. They walk around in the terminal and can enter your aircraft through the jetway. The lighting and cloud engine got an upgrade as well. The simulator will now feature Cirrus Cloud, previously absent from the sim. The new lighting engine will also affect the way that clouds are lit. For the first time, you're going to be able to see high-level clouds being a different colour to some of the low-level clouds. And again, it's all adding to the visual fidelity of how this all comes together. They also mentioned that they're going to have a world, or all of the world, when it comes to helipads and also glider airports or glider fields. They've all been modelled and they're all going to be added in. This is huge, right? Flight dynamics and the CFD will get a large upgrade. And they also mentioned that the upgrade for some third-party developers, it'll only take them about an hour to convert their aircraft to make it take full advantage of the new flight model, which is interesting, right? They went on then, you can see from the screenshots as well, it looks like, it does look insane, doesn't it? When we compare these pictures to what we currently have, like, you know what I mean? It's like comparing, isn't it? It's like comparing this back to FSX. That's the difference. And yet you look at our current sim and how good the thing looks. So I thought this was pretty cool. And of course then, the announcements when it came to some of the new partners, the Draco, or the Draco, depending on how you know, 1,000 horsepower into this mad divil, and Gottfriends being named as a official partner for Microsoft Flight Sim. This is super exciting. Gottfriends have been doing class work anywhere from the Bush aircraft. We got an amazing Warbird in there and everything else in between. It's exciting news for them, and well, the very best of luck. You can see now already Airplane Heaven are in there, Blackbird of course, Carinado are in there, Gottfriends, Gaia, Puff and Flight. So we love VF4. These guys are now partnered up. They're probably in under the Orbex brand. Nemeth Designs are in there. Indie Bills, of course, working title as always. And they said they have a few more to announce in the coming weeks, which is pretty cool. So what else do we have here? Some of the new partners, yeah, they're all invited on. Flight Control Replay. Again, we just watched one of their trailers. And, well, Fabio managed to get a couple of words out saying what he's going to be doing. God love him, the poor old devil. But it was pretty cool. Also, word here of the Primus Epic 2 avionics suite is going to be released into the sim, which is exciting. And the new route planner. Which is nuts. Right, KC Wingboy, thank you very much indeed. Jesus, 9 months, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. The new route planner. This is fascinating because the current route planner in the sim is painful. Painful. It doesn't do what it needs to do. This one here, your aircraft, your departure, your arrival, performance, flight details, route, payload, fuel, extended ops, summary options, and so on and so forth. And it can do the entire thing. This is super exciting, right? And it's also going to be mobile friendly, airport and fuel planning. Mobile friendly. So now you can do all of this as well. This is absolutely incredible, right? The second partner was Climax. The game studio has developed several games for Microsoft, and Xbox. They're going to be bringing some racing activities such as the Red Bull Air Race and Reno Air Races. The Reno Air Races will include a new location similar to the real world counterpart, which will be held in Roswell, New Mexico. Right? Third-party partners is Flight Control Replay, who will bring their instant flight replay tool into the sim. Also, ghost plane functionality, allowing to add a virtual wingman. Following these partners, York announced that Gaia Simulations will be doing their thing. Also, Henrik Nelson's global ship AI Traffic is going to be included as default, which is a huge program. We covered that on the news about a month or two ago. Hello there, all the hello there's. Welcome in, everybody. If you're new here, Colonel Fork is here. Good to see you, man. He has not fallen asleep in front of the camera yet. No, I'm still hanging on. Barely.
Jesus.
Barely. Who be this? Nami Califix, you're very welcome in. Thank you for the follow. And Sci-Fi is here as well. Guys, thank you very much indeed. Welcome in. So yeah, look, a lot of exciting news here. Also, they were talking about the obstructions and obstacles being baked into the sim as well. And they're going to be put together with Puff and Flight, known for the work that they've done on We Love VFR. Yeah, it's, I don't know, like when it comes to the working title, bringing the new Primus avionics system in, there was a lot of talk then about the charts and where Navigraph are at. Look, I mean, Navigraph, they kind of went, we're going to be chatting about Navigraph here now in a second, like they went their own direction as well, which is pretty cool. Because when you look at this sort of flight planning, sim brief, and also then access to charts, well, Microsoft they're going to have us covered now, right? But I still see an absolute need for Navigraph, especially now that they're going to be covering something new. We'll get to them in a moment. The other things we saw here, of course, was the announcements of the Boeing 737-800 MAX. This is an Asobo aircraft. And okay, look, the thing looks gorgeous. It just looks gorgeous. However, I'm a little bit confused. Bruce, welcome in. I'm confused because on one hand you have Microsoft saying, you know, we'll get all the third parties in to make the planes because, well, that's what they're good at doing, and that leaves Asobo time to, you know, work on the sim. And then a second later, but Asobo are also going to bring one of the most complex aircraft in the world into the sim. Huh? What? Right? So there's all that to kind of not worry about, but consider, right? But it looks very, very good, and the detailing here looks absolutely gorgeous. 737 MAX, why not? So there was huge news given here, and we got a lot of information, I think. There was nothing said, however, about multiplayer, and I was kind of miffed. So this is when I got into I walked up into the back and I queued up, and their most complex aircraft yet, not hard considering the state of their Neo, right? When I rambled up, I wanted to ask a question. And I couldn't get my question because they said that's the end of all the questions, because some fella got up to give out about helicopters, and then Joel was in front of me and he got asked a couple of questions. But anyway, I managed to get in front of Jorg and at the thing on Saturday night at the mixer, and I was asking him questions specifically for multiplayer. So I've sent an email off to him detailing exactly what we're looking for. I can tell you what we're looking for. Where's the email? Well, I can tell you, right? The first thing is the ability to host a private group flight that has more than 6 aircraft. Feature request. Because if you want to have a private group, you want more than 6 aircraft. Yes? Yes. Jorg, can you make that happen? Let's see what they can do. The second thing is, can we replace the model of a third party or another multiplayer aircraft? So let's say we're all flying in Cessnas, you know, and a gobshite arrives in with a 747 and you're like, yeah, mate, we're landing in small bus trips, right? Can we have the ability to change that model? And I said, have a look at what's it called? Join FS. Have a look at Join FX, and you can change, hopefully you can change the aircraft versus something in your own library. Let's see what that happens. And then the third thing I asked him was, when it comes to multiplayer, the other one as well, in the first one, private group flights, right? And, you know, don't limit us to 6 persons. And can we also include a password? That was in the first question. Second question was about changing another aircraft, what they look like to you. And then the third one was a proper blocking system. If you have a friend or with a name, can we actually type their name into the Xbox client and say, block them, and they can no longer appear on our screen? They are the 3 things I have requested. I haven't got an email back yet. It's unlikely we're going to see them straight away. As I said, we haven't heard anything about multiplayer or what's happening to multiplayer. To be honest, I get the vibe it hasn't been looked at all. But now, Jorg, to be fair to him, he gave me the time of day. He gave me his email and he said, send me an email. Let us go off and look at it. The positive was, when I spoke to him about it, he was in agreement to say, there shouldn't be too difficult to do. Send it on. Let me take a look at it. So cross your fingers, legs, toes, arms, ears, other regions, have them all crossed, light a candle and leave it in your window. Because look at the group flying element in the sim. We all know it, right? It's not for everyone, but when we do our, our group flights, there is nothing as awesome of having everyone flying together, landing in together. It's carnage, it's hilarity, it's great fun. The formations look absolutely mad. And it's just a really fun way to explore the sim. Yes, it goes against all the realism and, the spacing, and ATC would have an absolute hair freaking day. But for the fun element, there is no better way to explore the sim with your friends all flying together. And those 3 things that I listed are what you guys, that's the feedback you gave to me, and I can see it myself from streaming. Well, these are the things we need. These aren't nice to have. To me, these are essential to have. They must be had there. And even though we can kind of do a bit of everything using the likes of JoinFS, it's all terribly janky and clunky and messy. It's a pain in the arse. We just want the thing in the base sim, please. Thank you. Next. So that's what I've asked Jorg, and fingers crossed they're able to do something. Wouldn't that just be brilliant? Right. So let's see what happens. But anyway, all the news about Flight Sim 2024, it put a smile on my face. I was standing beside Scott Gentile during all of this. Scott owns A2A, right? I asked that as well, Gibbo. I asked that as well, Gibbo. So instead of having it locked to only 6 players, I could probably read you out my email too, will I? But I read you out my email. Hang on there now. I'll read you out the email now, right? Now don't tell anyone this. I won't give you his email, but I'll read out the email that I sent to him, right? So I have it here. So I'll tell you exactly. Sent. Right. 1. Model matching. Understand it's difficult due to the variables and volumes of third-party products, but perhaps there is scope for a workaround, a model swapper, allowing the user to change the appearance of multiplayer aircraft and choose what model or livery based on what you already have installed or purchased. There are some options that can do this, and I'll talk about JoinFS. The second one, larger private server sessions. Currently, if you want to host a private group flight, you are limited to 6 players. It would be awesome to increase this to 50 or 100. Some of my live streams have up to 100 folks flying along, and another option would be to host a private server with a password, so groups can stick together. Also very handy for people who want to practice aerobatics or general training away from other players. And number 3, the ability to remove or block a multiplayer aircraft who might be causing issues. An example, we have a group flight with general aviation, all flying Cessnas to remote small airstrips. Currently nothing there to stop someone else loading in with a 747 and Troll, flying straight into the group. Maybe an option to display friends only or something along those lines. Promise him a pint of Guinness and let's see what happens. So that's pretty much it. That's what was asked, right? So anything else, I couldn't tell you. They're the 3 things. Fingers crossed he gets a chance to look at them. It's not going to be rocket science to implement something or even give us some sort of a time frame to say, we hear you, we're going to try and do something. Let's see what happens down the road. Right. But anyway, so yeah, I think all the news we got for Flight Sim 2024, very, very interesting. I'm excited for a lot of the stuff that they're telling us. The ray tracing is kind of cool. Like, it's all visual stuff. I am intrigued with the career stuff.
Hello
right?
there.
I'm intrigued by it. Hello there. Who be this? Let me see. Jesus. Heavy Equation. Thank you very much indeed. Welcome in. One of the things I like, the windscreen wipers, Superboy, I did ask the question. At the moment, it's up to third-party developers. The code can support it. So it's up to developers to make that work. If Microsoft are going to include working wipers, maybe, but it's in the code, it can work, and we've seen it. Phoenix got it working, right? So it's more, I think it's more to ask the current third-party developers to say, hey, will you make that thing work? But also, I am aware of a mod coming out, but that's later, but there's a mod coming out to do that. But anyway, yeah, it was super cool to see the direction that the sim is going in terms of the visual fidelity we're going to get. It's better. It just is. And, you know, it's something that I had a discussion with Kando about as well. There is no doubt, yes, the airliner stuff is getting attention from, like, you know, the career mode. But I think the changes that they're making to the sim in terms of the visuals, dirt accumulation, tessellation, new 3D mesh kits, new friggin' trees and orbs. Flight Sim 2024 is going to be an absolute massive focus on general aviation. It just is. Gliders, helicopters, they're all in there. We're going to be able to explore this world like we've never have done before. Hopefully, that's the idea. So I'm looking forward to it. Especially for us, our community, who, well, we're general aviation. Yes, the airliners are coming in, and I gotta say, right, as someone who is a general aviation enthusiast, I've been really enjoying the airliners because they are so good. They are so good. And with VATSIM and everything else, it's working out very, very well. But when it comes to flying, this sort of crack, and even there you have 3 aircraft, you know what I'm saying? I'm mad to see what they can do with this, be it with all the new trees, the species of trees, being able to hop out of your aircraft, take pictures. It's almost like Hunter Call of the Wild. Do you know what I mean? Very, very exciting stuff as well. So that was pretty much it from Expo on Saturday. On Sunday, the marketplace. So they started going, I don't know, like this is good enough information for developers. Of course it is, because it kind of shows them the peaks and troughs, what was popular, what wasn't popular, what sold, what didn't, you know, how they got on here and how they got on there. And you can see that, you know, the marketplace is dominated. A 50-50 split with North America and Europe. We represent, you know, 86% of all sales, and then the rest of the world is in there for everywhere else. And like, you can see that in the products, right? I mean, you can see it with the sceneries, you can see it with the aircraft, you can see it with the liveries. It's dominated by Europe and North America, right? Which is mad, but it is what it is. It shouldn't surprise anyone. The marketplace purchases by category. I thought this was interesting because, well, airports 21%, aircraft 42%, and then activities 3%. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? The activities are shite. You don't need them. You don't need them. Activities, push them somewhere else. 3%, you don't actually need them. And then, like, what's the other category? Do you know what I mean? I thought that was interesting. Zags are very welcome in. Aircraft and airports, very, very interesting to see where they're at. And yeah, this is where the meat and veg come in. Because check this out. You have the following. This is what the new marketplace UI is going to be looking like. Now, to be fair, right, I mean, this is Windows 8, isn't it? But you remember Windows 8? Well, they're mad about this tile system. But anyway, and when I saw the Beach Model 18, I was like, oh, jeez, it's all brilliant. But no, it's the old one that we currently have, right? Anyway, a couple of things. So, marketplace and your library. Okay, that's handy. They're in the one place. Then you have, like, your avatar, what level you're at. I don't know what that level is for, by the way. Then you have this kind of currency. Don't know what that's for. Then you have, like, your friends, any notifications, settings, and you have the store. And then you seem to have, like, a comment section here, look. A comment section. That's interesting. Anyway, when it comes to the marketplace, further down you can see aircraft, airports, world, activities, customization. Aircraft, right? Airports, yes. World, okay. Scenery, we're thinking. Activities made it in, even though the 3%, but hey. Then customization. I don't know what customization is. Is it going to be liveries, or is it going to be something for, like, an avatar? You know, can you change your pilot appearance and unlock stuff? And is this currency relating to, you know, times flown or miles flown in the sim, and you unlock more stuff? Or because activities only are 3%, well, maybe you have to complete activities to get your points, and then your points go into your customization. Then you'll see an increase of 3% from your activities. But anyway, thought it was good, right? There was nothing else kind of spoiler here except for that customization, unsure what it means. Then when you go into the marketplace itself, last seen and your wish list, so you can wish list items. I think you can do that. Hey, Mr. Dan, good to see you. 10 hours away. You take care, my dude. The Limbic says, the nerd in me is hoping not all trees go different colours like evergreens or rainforests. For instance, New Zealand doesn't go orange. Trees stay green for most part. Yeah, but I think they're going to be regionalised orbs, right? Weather presets and the like. Probably. Might be sounds and liveries, cockpit textures. So I think it could be, 100%. So search all the catalogue, or you can divide it up into these little areas. They did say that a number of items will be, well, all the items, I think they said they're going to port them over. Whether or not they happen, we don't know. Customized might be filter stuff that you just want to see. Wishlist, 100% could be. But it says customization. So if you look at here, you have like a little magnifying glass, and then there's like a ticket or a wallet or something over there beside your wish list. So I don't know. Maybe it's a filtering option. Maybe, right? We just don't know. We just don't know. The question, by the way, I don't know if you picked this up. The question was, and unless I'm wrong, can you lads confirm in the chat? There was a question to say, can we save aircraft control? Sorry, can we save controller profiles to specific airports? And the answer Yor gave was, yeah. And that was it. It was a question that came from the crowd saying, can we save our profile from our controllers? Can we save them to the aircraft? And York said yes. Did I hear that wrong? Profiles per aircraft. Am I right in saying that was announced as well? It also looks more web friendly. Yeah. I'm almost certain that's what he said, yeah? He said yes, but I didn't think he understood. No, I think he did. 99%. Yeah, no, he did. No, he did. 100%. Because Seb leaned into him as well and he said, yes. Like, it wasn't even, we want to add it. It was like, yes. And that was it. Yeah, he did. Right. That's huge news, lads. Huge news. So you're in your helicopter, right? And next thing, Jesus, where's me trim? It's saved because you've already saved it. And you don't need to select a new profile. When you pick the aircraft, it remembers what profile belongs to that aircraft. It's so small and so simple, yet brilliant, right? Gary Duggan, good to see you. Could be the content you want to import. Example, Phoenix, aircraft and scenery, Indy bills. As in customization? Maybe. I don't think there's going to be a way that you can upload your third-party add-ons into the Microsoft Flight Sim. That just won't happen, I don't think. You know? So is this an in-sim currency? Gibbo, that's what that looks like, man. Doesn't it? That's what that looks like. Are they going down the route of an in-sim currency? Do you know what I mean? Because there's no currency gadget beside it. What do we think? That could what could an in-sim currency give you? Hear me out. And this is just a mad rumor, but you know what I'm like. Let's say, for example, you're flying in the career mode and you start off as like, you know, a bush pilot and you go all the way up to an airliner pilot. Are you now achieving these points? Think about it. A career, it's a game. They want it to be gamey. They want you to have a sense of achievement, right? If this is going to be in-game currency and then they have this customized area, right? You're happy out. You're happy out. There's also something else very important up here, lads, that you may not have seen. This is your library and it says, okay, these are all your filters. Check out what this says. It says streamed or installed, right? So this looks like we have the option of installing locally to our hard drive, or we have the option to say, only stream this to me when I need it. That's the elephant in the room. No one picked that one up. No one said anything about it. It says it right there. Streamed. Right? So, yeah, you heard it here second, because, you know, they said it first. Look at this, right? So, what state? Streamed, update available, installed, not installed. Your category, your creator, you can enable or disable, bundles and packages, your community, and then it says Legacy 2020. That's behind me, Malahide. It says Legacy 2020 there. So you can include Legacy 2020 aircraft if you have them installed, and perhaps then you fly them using the Legacy 2020 flight model, right? So streamed as in you don't own it, it's just streamed, which is going to be awesome. No, I don't think it's like that, Mr. Dan. I think you need to own it, right? I mean, because otherwise, why would you ever buy anything? Streamed is more like your scenery. So if you have, like, you know, all these orbs and all these like, put it this way, this is a huge consideration factor when it comes into, like, I have 622 gigs of add-ons, which isn't an awful lot. 622 gigs. That adds a couple of minutes to loading. If I had all of those streamed, meaning they would only load when I need them, and we were talking about this the other day, if your sim only needs to load in what it needs when it needs it, well then, you know, the exposure or the saturation on your local drives is now considerably less. However, the fact that you're going to have an option to either have it streamed or installed should be helping those who are on the slower internet connections. That's what I think. I just thought that was huge. Streamed, it says streamed. So you're going to have the option to stream marketplace add-ons that you own rather than having to download them. Bearing in mind, you look at someone like Flight Replicas aircraft, they're 15 or 16 gigs for like a Spitfire. Optimizations, what? Do you know what I mean? Look, there's a lot of stuff here that's very interesting. Levels, is that like a rank? Oh, I'm a level 400. You know, so's your face. A currency, perhaps, right? There is a messaging system because that says chat. Now, I don't know, is that going to open support? Who knows what that does, right? This is huge, lads. And no one picked up this stream thing. At least I don't know. Be great for the world updates, not necessarily have them locally. 1,000,000%, Gibbo. 1,000,000%, right? And again, look at this. It also says community. So we know that there's a community marketplace, right? So you can actually filter these by community uploaded stuff, which is going to be awesome. So this one picture I don't think it got the attention it kind of, it needed. Because they went through this page fairly fast. But there's a lot of information here and it's all speculation. And again, they're highlighting, what's a 2020 aircraft versus what's a 2024. Now, here's one for you. Hear me out. The 2020 version of the Antonov is 1.2 gigs. The 2024 version of the Antonov is 2.2 gigs. There's 1 gig more gone into that aircraft. What on earth could that be? A gig? They've almost doubled the size of the aircraft from 2020 to 2024 in terms of what data you need to download. 8K textures, maybe, yeah. J. Russ says, I've 200 custom airports. Would be nice to only load the 2 I need for a flight. Now, you can do that already if you have a PC with add-ons linker, but like that just put, oh Jesus, I forgot to load in the, right? Remember, you're in the sim, I'm after forgetting to load the scenery, back out we close, and then you have to move the scenery in. But if you own it on the marketplace, just stream it. Yeah, just stream it when I need it. Huge, right? Huge. So, yeah, that's very, very interesting for sure. Then they're talking about, okay, the different versions and prices. So here's the Bonanza to buy it, or here's the Bonanza to upgrade it into Flight Sim 2024. This has me worried completely. I'm terrified of this thing. And the reason why I'm terrified is Microsoft going to pass on a free upgrade option to developers, considering at the moment you can't get anything for free on the marketplace, except for like the very rare 1 or 2 items, right? So if I'm a developer and I want to make freeware, I currently can't put it on the marketplace. I need to charge for it. And you can bet your bottom dollar Carinata will charge for their updates. They just will. Hungry whores. They'll just charge you for their update, right? But yeah. But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen there. So they were the screenshots of the new kind of a marketplace, which I thought, like, class stuff, lads, right? Class stuff. But yeah, so there's plenty of information there. And then they went on with this other stuff. So this is for the MCP. This is for developers and where they're going to update and install all their bits and bobs. How they ingest, people can access it, they can edit stuff. Instead of resubmitting the entire project, they just do a small bit of an edit and it should work. Cockspur development team, Seb, where are we at? Great to see you, man. I hope you got home okay. Myself and Seb were standing in the beer park across from the Bellagio, and when I shouted over, Seb, where are we at? Well, he answered me in a very funny way. The big question is, says Gibbo, what would 24 versions have over the 20 ones? At the moment, there's no info on that. I agree. So, Christ, that was loud. Thank you very much indeed. Who was that? Jay Russ, thank you very much indeed for the subscribe. Welcome in. So you stepped through the door 15 minutes ago. Nice.
Oh, Jesus.
So, Gibbo, one thing we do know, old aircraft versus the 2024 aircraft. 2024 aircraft have a new flight model. They have a new flight model, right? And it's taking advantage of this CFD. So, what's it? Content flight dynamic or current flight dynamic? I don't know what it is. But that's one of them. And that's just one of them, right? We also know that for aircraft, they're going to have spawn points when in relation to a third-party developer says, okay, here's my airplane. They're going to draw the spawning points outside and around their aircraft to allow you to conduct a walk-around mode. Computational fluid dynamics. Jesus, lads, these are brilliant. I knew you'd know it. I knew you knew it. But they're just two things I'm aware. That's going to give you the advantage from a Flight Sim 2024 aircraft versus that of a legacy 2020 aircraft. It's going to have a new flight model available, which takes, according to Jorg, an hour to upgrade. And also these new spawn points that developers can say, okay, put the location here, you'll appear there, then you can move to that point, to this point, to this point, and that's how you'll do your walk around outside the aircraft. That's my idea. You know what I mean? Vivid Clarity has resubscribed for 2 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. You're very welcome in. And lads, your support tonight has been nothing short of absolutely mad. Thank you also very, very much indeed. To everyone on YouTube for hitting the like button, you're very, very kind, and for all the subscribes, and for everyone here on Twitch, for all the follows, the raids, and the subscribes. It's been absolutely nuts. Will you behave yourselves? Thank you very much indeed, right? So yeah, very exciting stuff for sure. Marketplace Content Portal, again, this is pretty cool because they can have user access. They can just add certain users instead of having... I can't believe they did everything by Teams meeting. Even Teams is a pain in the arse. Who uses Teams? Right? Who uses Teams today? It used to be Skype. Just pick up the phone. Skype. No. WhatsApp. Yeah. Or Discord. No, it had to be Teams. But anyway, that's what they were doing, you know. Hey, West Coast Willie is here. Good to see you, man. We had great crack with West Coast Willie over at Expo. Rambach says daily, sadly. Isn't it? Yeah, they use Teams. Liam, good to see you. Is there any talk on FS Reborn's Phenom progress? There is. They're working on that. We saw some previews over at Expo. Looks incredible. And a lot of work and passion is going into that machine. And holy Jesus. And then after that is going to be a Boeing 727. Incredible stuff, right? QC Frank says, Murph, my job uses a public service worker here. Yeah. Teams, like, it never, well, it's all right, Jesus. But imagine that's the way in which you can only contact them. What? You know? Boring work? Yeah. But anyway, it's interesting that they've added all these things in. So yeah, that's kind of the nuts and bolts, as I said. And like the most exciting thing to me is that a currency? Is that your level based on carrying out missions in career mode? And what is customization? What is it? I want a pair of sunglasses, dagnammit. I want upside down aviators, right? Right. Or is it liveries or what? We don't know yet. Speculation. It's all rumors. And let's see what happens. All the $4 to upgrade, the hundreds of aircraft in your library will quickly add up just to keep having exactly the same library. Hopefully, as you say, it can be for free. Gibbo, that's like, I'm genuinely concerned over that. When you see something like this, this image here scared the absolute crap out of me. So if you wanted to buy the Bonanza, well, it's $14.99. However, if you want to upgrade your Bonanza to Flight Sim 2024, well, there's a price in here. The question I have, will developers have a choice of offering a free upgrade, considering at the moment there is no way for a developer to offer freeware on the marketplace? This hasn't been spoken about, so we just don't know. My hope is, yes, they can offer it for free. My worry will be, no, they have to charge us something. If they have to charge us something, out comes the wallet. You know what I mean? But yeah. Now, where are we at? Over here. That's my bank balance required for the upgrade button. Yeah. Absolutely. Let me see. Tony, you're very welcome in. Thank you for the follow. So let's see what happens. Again, that's going to be a question. By all means, lads, the best way to get your questions answered, this topic, grab it, go over to the official Microsoft Flight Sim forums, ask the question. And if they don't answer you directly, hopefully the question might get to the next developer stream. They'll see it, right? And let's see if the answer gets questioned. You know what I mean? They said there will be a free option in the upgrade section. They said there will be. Are we sure? I think they explained there could be a free port over, and then devs can offer an upgraded version that would bring in new features as well. Question is, will they go for the free option? So is it up to the developer? So, because if it is up to the developer, well then there we are. You know what I mean? Because I know Raoul, for example, FS Reborn, he told me his stuff is going to be a free upgrade. You know, but let's see what happens. But anyway, I thought that was all fascinating stuff coming out of, you know, the announcements. Now, another announcements, we'll move on here now. I'm not going to get a chance to look at aircraft tonight, so that'll give us something to do now, maybe tomorrow or Friday. But anyway, Navigraph announced a new traffic sector overlay. This is savage, right? So they used a lot of its, they used its slot on FSExpo on the main stage to announce their latest feature for the Charts app and its traffic overlays. The new feature, which the team admitted was the most requested. Right? So Dougal asked this question a while ago, and I knew they were working on it, right? So you can see it here, look. And it's not just flightsim. They're going to have other options down here. So I think Pilot Edge is in there. There's other stuff in there. Also Navigraph traffic. This effectively, I think, puts a bullet in Volanta. Right? That's right. That's what I think. But anyway, let's learn a little bit about it. Navigraph has used its slot on the stage to announce the latest feature. The new feature, which the team admitted was their most requested feature, will allow users to view ATC sectors on their charts, current VATSIM and IVAO controller connections, and other Navigraph users. I think Pilot Edge is on there as well, maybe not. You can also interact with other users by clicking on the aircraft icon, where information about the flight path, aircraft type, altitude and speed is displayed. All pilots are shown on the map regardless of whether they're a Navigraph, VATSIM, IVAO user, and they're displayed with a 1 second refresh rate. Now, I don't know anything about this, but the rumor is there might be a way to communicate, but that's hearsay. No one has said it officially, but there was a way that you can communicate potentially with a pilot. Whether or not that makes it into this, I don't know, but I think that could be kind of cool. But anyway, it looks very, very good. The fact that you can actually put extra traffic in there, and by having this on Navigraph, this now limits the need of any of the radar stuff, VATSIM radar, VATtastic, any of those. This gets rid of that, because you now can see where the aircraft are on your charts, lads, not just on the airport, which is nuts. Whammo, you're very welcome in. The 1 second refresh rate is a game changer. The current network are at least 15 seconds. Exactly. What about real life traffic? Negative. Only showing VATSIM traffic or IVAO at the moment. But this is huge news. Huge news. And the 1 second updates, nothing can do a 1 second update. Nothing. So this is huge. The feature is yet to be released, with more work being done on building the system over the next couple of months. And according to the onstage team, however, some of the ongoing work includes breaking up the displayed VATSIM sectors, so that if, for example, you are flying into London, there are 3 London controllers, you will know which of those 3 you are supposed to contact without having to make a guess. This thing will automatically say you're in this airspace, this is the controller you need to speak to. Now, where will it go from there? Will it be a click of a button and it'll now, you know, because this works with SimConnect. If you click a button on Navigraph, will it automatically tune your radio? These are other features I believe Navigraph to be looking at. Whether or not they make the cut, we don't know. But Jesus, lads, for anyone who uses VATSIM, this is a huge, huge deal, right? But anyway, towards the end of the presentation, a vertical profile features was alluded briefly, although few details were shared. And this and the other is something that the team is working on. The new feature will be able to display the vertical layout of ATC sectors so that the user is able to know where they can fly beneath airspace and if there is an option to do so on the route. Did they have a picture of that? No. So basically it was a vertical line. A vertical line. I don't see a picture of it there. But basically it'll show your flight altitude and who it is you need to talk to. Like, it's just nuts, right? Nuts. Dread Menace says no more spawning over another airplane. Correct. PMDG will happily charge you another 50 for an upgrade, rambling about SDK limitations and months of work. Meanwhile, FS Reborn will give you free updates and say it's very easy to do. Yep. 98 Vulcan is here. Good to see you, man. Yeah, so that was huge news, I thought, from Navigraph. And this is, you know, the worry was, right, with working title being able to put in their charts, right? This was like, oh, Jesus, is that going to upset Navigraph? Now, no doubt Navigraph saw this and said, right, balls. But I think this now is just, no, they're okay. Considering Navigraph also works on X-Plane, right? This is huge news. So once we get more information, I'm more than happy to share it with you. Also, an interesting discussion coming from Tobii. I got to chat to the lads from Tobii as well. Really nice bunch of lads. Great bunch of lads. But what they're working on here is the latest in a slew of developers who have taken to Expo to announce a new camera boost function. Basically, just to give you the long and the short. If you want to look over your left shoulder right now, right? Try it. What moves first, your head or your eyes? Your eyes, right? So your eyes turn and then your head follows. And they've now captured that and they're going to put that into it. So when your eyes move very, very far and then your head turns, it's going to accelerate the thing, which is genius. It makes the whole looking around more natural, right? And that's what they're baking in. Now, I did ask the question. Hey, Arch is here. Good to see you, Arch. Welcome in. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Arch NDA is approximately 7 feet tall. He's very tall. Hello, Arch. Good to see you up there. He's a giant. You're very welcome in. So yeah, I asked Toby I as well. I said, is there any way can you guys fix, if I wanted to like look somewhere in the cockpit and press pause, the camera will stay there? That's seemingly not a Toby I issue. That's a Microsoft flight sim issue. So what Toby I said, put in a request on the forums and get a couple of votes. Now, we've been voting for things since like the sim came out. But again, if it's something that you're passionate about, well, make sure the thing gets a bit of gravity. The community managers look through all of these things, as do the devs, and then they say, right, okay, show me the KPIs. What are the most requested? What are the most talked about? You know what I mean? So yeah, very, very interesting stuff. So the camera boost, it's already available in DCS on War Thunder. I haven't used it in Star Citizen. The edition coming soon to X-Plane, Arma 3 and Elite Dangerous. There's no word when it's going to come into Flight Simulator, but they are working on it. So the word, great news from Toby. More stuff happening. Now, Honeycomb, we managed to get a good old chat with Nikki, and I think you did relatively okay, right? Because I basically said, look, Nikki, I mean, Honeycomb, you got into the whole business because you wanted to make innovative products that look great, they work great, and they're going to be affordable or cheaper, right? Affordable. And he said, that's exactly it. And then the whole thing got blown out of the water because, it was like an episode out of the Dragon's Den, and one fella took money to pay his Aunt Susie, and then someone else came along and said, no, you're not getting them back. A whole load of drama that we really couldn't give. We just don't care. I don't care about the drama. Like, it's not like tuning into like your favorite sitcom or your drama series. We don't want to know about it. We just want our stuff and we want more of it. And when we pay for it, we want it delivered. And if it breaks, we want it fixed. End of story. That's all we want. Don't need anything else. Thanks. Good luck now. Right? So, with that said, the drama side of the fence is slowly but surely getting sorted. Mr. Square Lee, who's in the house here, he's going to be raising his eyebrows at this. First upgrade will cost $1 million. Brilliant. Got friends. Yeah. You want to update the Wilga? And do you know what they're going to add to the Wilga? Instead of a guitar, they're going to add a keyboard. No, they're not. That's pure lies, but imagine. Anyway, Mr. Square Lee, his eyebrows will be raised looking at this, right? But the turbulent time for hardware maker Honeycomb, it seems to be sorted because the Charlie rudder pedals have now finally entered production. In an email sent out from Aerosoft, it's been confirmed that the long-awaited hardware has a target shipment date of August 29th, a bit longer than hoped, but they're on the way. If you're at Expo, you can head over to Aerosoft booth and you can check them out for yourself. So they're the Charlies. Now, other things coming, as Nick said to us on the interview, he's other stuff. He remembers the Alpha and the Bravo as they are now, but it's not, all existing products will ship if you buy them, but he wants to kind of remake them. He wants to redesign them. He wants to upgrade them. He wants to make them better. Don't forget that hardware is probably at this stage 6 or 7 years old, going all the way back from concept of ops to delivery. So, things are getting newer, things are getting better. And in the world of hardware, well, it's now awash with things like haptic feedback and force feedback. Nuts, right? Petition to make Wilga's guitar company with Guitar Hero controllers. Jesus. Yes. Absolutely yes. But, Jongs, why don't you just develop a bit of hardware of a guitar? You sell it. And then you can be in your Wilga flying with your guitar pressing buttons. I'm only saying it's genius. It's genius, right? It's genius. But anyway, Honeycomb, let's see what they're going to do. I have a little bit of insider knowledge of what's coming next. Very, very exciting. But let's get kind of the drama swept up, put away into the box, and we see where we go from there. But yeah, now, Moza, these lads were a hidden star, I think, of the show. I didn't get in front of them at the cameras. I got over to them on Sunday. Only because I was confused. I was like, who's this GTR racing? I don't know, who are they? I want to talk to these lads. And there was a couple of small people who were very nice, but very quiet. Anyway, I got in front of them on Sunday, and Moser were working with GTR. That's what confused me. But anyway, lads, these boys are working on the force feedback stick. It's a big jalopy of a joystick, but there's force feedback, and it's strong. It's the last time I used a force feedback joystick in Microsoft Flight Simulator was the Microsoft Sidewinder 2. I still have that somewhere. And it still works. It still actually works. But the force feedback isn't very, very strong. It's all right. Like, it used to be strong when I was smaller, but that's before, I got muscles, amongst others. But you know what I mean? But anyway, this thing is class looking. Now, it's going to retail at around $700 or $800. This ain't cheap. It's not cheap. And, to use flightsim.com is like, it's affordable. It's competitive. What? Just what? Right? This is relatively affordable considering its target was the first force feedback joystick in the house. And when we talk about force feedback, you're usually into the thousands category. So for 800 quid, yeah, let's see how it goes. An impressive stick, and it is very strong, very strong. And like it ships with like a health warning as well, because you hit turbulence or like the reflex of the thing, you'll hurt your rate. We'd be all called limb brisket. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, racing simulators, these guys are the ones as well behind the truck steering wheel. They didn't have the truck steering wheel with them. The big massive wheel? Huge stuff, right? Also the base, it'll work with different sticks, which is good news as well. And it's compatible with the likes of the Verpil stuff and also Thrustmaster. So you could move your Verpil or your Thrustmaster stick and drop it in onto the Moser. It'll figure it out, it'll know what it is, and it'll work. Isn't that class? So if you're only buying the base, you might save a few quid as well. So their own flight stick based on the MH16. It looks to be a beautiful stick. It was very comfortable to hold. It's very well built, and the buttons very, very strong, and it just felt nice, right? 24 input signals, cross-compatible with other third-party brands, as in it's the same kind of hot shoe gadget connection, so you can actually put their stick onto something else as well. Pretty cool. Their throttle quadrant, this is very similar to that of what Winwing make currently. So their fighter jet style throttle quadrant, an extended panel which includes your park and brake, hook and jettison levers. Little detail is shared regarding the throttles, but if the stick and base is anything to go by, the throttle quadrant will be of great quality and hosts a plethora of switches, which it does. They had that mounted there, felt quite good. There was a friction adjuster that you can actually tighten up the throttle movement as well. There was one button on the side though, it will brake, and you can see it there. That'll just brake. If the Thrustmaster has one as well, that little switch, they're just prone to braking, so just be careful of that. I'm not saying theirs will, but all of them brake, so you've got to be careful with that. But anyway, then the rudder pedals. This is pretty cool, right? So no information regarding the price or when the base or the stick will be released. Where's this now? Full customization and cross-platform on the rudder pedals. They're very like the MFG Crosswinds, aren't they? Very, very good. So when it comes to mounting that, Mr. Dan, you can mount it on your desk, but ideally you'd mount it on, like, you'd get a gadget to mount it. There's even a gadget they were talking about, you can put it onto your gaming chair. It just bolts onto the side of it. And it's quite sturdy. They had it on a GTR race sim setup thing. I thought that was very, very good. So that's Moser. Brilliant, right? Brilliant. Now, these lads, Winwing, I think they stole the show. I genuinely think they stole the show because they've debuted an affordable 737 and A320 cockpit products. And this is anywhere from an FMS, a MacDo, they have an MCD, a PFD, an AJH. Did all these things to show us, right? Did loads of stuff to show us. And Winwing finished up the Expo, the main stage presentation, and Tony Lynn, the spokesman representing Winwing, started out by making the commercially high fidelity simulators for clients such as flight schools, including their 1-to-1 scale renditions of the Cessna 172 and even a Diamond DA40 cockpit. They've also been making HOTAS systems for mill sims for years now, and today's presentation was all about the new home cockpit hardware seeking to enhance the experience of simmers. For the A320 series, Tony announced that the MIP 320, the EFIS, left and right, are going to be retailing for about $85 each, and the 320 MacDo is going to retail for about $130.
Hello there.
This is friggin' nuts, lads, right? Hey, Wombi Eye, good to see you, man. Yeah, they were amazing, right? I know a man who could pour concrete to mount that thing on. War Hamster is here after pouring all his concrete. Hope you're well, my dude. Raphael, let me see. Benavides, thank you very much indeed for following the channel. You're very welcome in. Yeah, Wing, absolutely class. Jay Winokur, yeah, the rudder pedals literally look deadly, right? Right? But yeah, so this is class, right? Check out the stuff. So this is the Airbus stuff. Now, I have the Wing MFD. Is that what it's called? With me, you know, it has your altitude and your autopilot switches and all this. And Gibbo was mentioning he has the other one, the Mini FCU. Just change it to one of these, Gibbo, if you can, because this stuff is class. And like, these are full size. They're deadly, right? They're deadly. Anyway, regional selling prices may vary. These are relatively cheap. They're about $85 each. And you don't necessarily need two. One will do you, right? One will do you. But if you want, you can get two of them if you wish. And then, of course, it showed off the Mac Do. This is huge. So, like, myself and Gibbo for ages, like, we use, like, what's the program we use, Gibbo? But we can actually put a digital Mac Do onto an iPad. And it's grand and it works. But having the actual bit of hardware, and I pressed the buttons on this and the FMS, and they're lovely. The build quality feels very, very nice. It's a small little USB-C connectors in the back. Deadly. Just deadly, right? And it's 139 or 129 US dollars. Anyway, that's not all, because they came along and they started talking about the ACP, right? And this is all to do with your audio panel. This is something else new. And they didn't release a price for this yet. Now, you can have all these call buttons. I didn't see the screen. Oh, there it is there. Your transponder. Right? So they're basically working on the cockpit. So you're going to have all of this stuff going on into your Airbus cockpit. They also have brand new joysticks. Isn't it brilliant, right? Hey, Fly with Nick is here as well. Good to see you, man. So more A320 products coming in 2025. Then they talked about the Ursa Minor airline joystick. This is based on, you know, you can remove the switch up here. This is based on the Airbus ergonomic kind of joystick, which was nice. $83. That's like a complete that's competing now with Thrustmaster. And there's a ton of stuff on this. $83 for the, right? Brilliant, right? Brilliant. But then, this is where my knees started to get a little bit weak. Boeing stuff is coming to the fray as well. With a 737 MCP for $130. Look at the suffering state of that. Would you come on out of that? Arch NDA, absolute ledge. $83 for the stick, right? 9 months Arch NDA. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. Cheers. Look at the state of this. So I see one of these in me future, right? And friends, they also include the EFIS on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And not only that, they're only priced at $80. Not only that, they have the 737 CDU or FMS. Let's just try and put this into perspective. If I wanted to go out now and get a 737 FMS flight sim, and if I wanted to buy one, here's one on Etsy for €777. Here's another one for 970 odd euro. Here's another one for €536. What? Hundreds, absolute hundreds of hundreds. This is going to be $129. Dollars. Isn't that amazing? Super excited. And then they're working on the 737 cockpit. Then they also mentioned their 18 joystick version 2, which is going to have all sorts of cool stuff on it. Experience haptic feedback. Haptic feedback. So pressing buttons and all this stuff, not necessarily force feedback, but it's haptic feedback. And then the Sim App Pro vibration motor adaptation, couldn't tell you. But DCS World, it already works. Flight Sim already works. X-Plane is coming. Prepared is coming. Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, and War Thunder all being added to the Wing stuff. And then, friends, this mad thing. The Cyber Taurus. FAA Far Part Level 5 joystick control loading, force modeling, simulated platform and add-on development teams only need to provide usual data interface like 6 degrees of thing. They're talking about their force feedback stuff. Wing, they were so busy. They were probably the busiest stall at FlightSim Expo, and it had all the gear lined up. You can go over, mess with it, play with it, try and fit it into your pocket until they call the cops. You can do all those things, do you know? I think WinWing kind of stole the show for me when it came to the hardware, because this is awesome stuff. Also, the other crowd, Alternative Motion, they were kind of offering the same kind of stuff when it came to your general aviation. And of course, airliners as well. They had some really nice cockpits, as in all the dials, all the switches worked. Look back in their video from the show floor walk on Saturday, and they were reasonably priced as well. You can get like, I think it was a full panel background for a Cessna with all the dials, digital with switches and stuff to move them, for about $360. That's incredible. Incredible stuff. Where the cost of this kit has come down so much. It's frightening. Do you know what I mean? So do you consider that civil aviation sticks require force feedback, or the only fighter jets? Anything with force feedback will be better. Anything with force feedback, because we don't have the sense of load bearing when we fly in a sim. And that's what's missing. When you're in an airplane, for example, in a real world airplane, right? You trim the aircraft not by, trimming it so your yoke goes back to zero. You hold the yoke in position and then you trim it until you can let go of the joystick or the yoke, and it doesn't move. Now it's trimmed. That's how you trim in the real world. In a flight simulator, what we have to do when we're flying, be it on a yoke or a joystick, we're trimming until we're able to get the joystick or the yoke back into its zero or neutral position. It's not like that in the real world. In the real world, you hold the controls where you want, and then you trim it until there is no more resistance and it stays exactly where you left it. That's now coming into this. So like that's a great benefit if you're going to be using flight sims for real world training, because that's how you trim in a real plane, right? Which is class. But anyway, yeah, Wing, absolutely incredible stuff. Now we're nearly there, lads. Jesus. Invernix, who are our TFDI, have acquired Parallels 42, the Sky Park. It was a surprising move. Anyone have any thoughts on this? So we know the Sky Park, this was Parallel 42's first foray into Microsoft Flight Sim, and it got a couple of updates over its lifetime, and then it kind of stopped. It just kind of stopped. Parallel 42 got busy elsewhere. The Sky Park, it was definitely a fun idea. It gave you kind of missions. You can work up kind of points and all this sort of jazz. Had a moving map. The UI was done really, really nicely. But it was something, it just kind of stayed there. Well, they've sold it. They've sold it now to Invernix, or Invernix, who are TFDI Design, right? So Colin says, I've been using Sky Park for some time. I've always enjoyed it. When the opportunity to be a part of the future of it arose, I was beyond excited. We started talking ideas and we both knew right away that the future was bright. I can't wait to take the Sky Park to the next level, and we're honoured to be involved. Other side of the acquisition, Edson, Managing Director of Parallel 42, he says the Sky Park holds a very special place in our heart. It was our first product in the sim and continues to serve as an active community. There's no better feeling than knowing your baby is in good hands. Vernix are the right team to move the Sky Park forward. Undisclosed amount, of course. We didn't know what was sold or how it was sold, but yeah. Edson selling and activity stuff before 2024 does not surprise me. I would agree. I think the Sky Park is going to be somewhat limited based on what 2024 is going to have to offer. TFDI Design, they offer a whole multitude of, when it comes to virtual airlines and all that sort of stuff. Let's see what they can do with the Sky Park, and I wish them every success with it. It was a great idea. Let's see how they can bring it to the next level, if they can. So yeah, that was interesting. Staying with Parallel 42, well, they released Taboo. They've released Taboo to reduce the memory footprint of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, it's a hot and cold one, right? It's either like, sweet lamb of Jesus, they're charging for this, or for some people, it's like, thank God someone has actually built this. You could be on one side of the discussion, you could be on the other side, or you could be on the fence in the middle. Effectively, what it is a bit of software that removes some of the avionics from your flight, thus giving you better performance. That's what it does. So it's an interface that you can say, turn off that, and that. And for some pilots, specifically on Xbox, they're getting better frame rates, they're getting better, it's more smooth, and they're not getting half as many memory crashes, because using this little app, you can turn stuff on or off, right? And looking at the trailer, again, this is marketed, we know the crack here, but when it comes to turning stuff on or off, you can see it here, right? These are all the things that are on in the aircraft, which means This is something that the sim has to load, look at, record, monitor, and then push back out again. There are processes. That's what it's doing, right? So this add-on gives you the ability to turn stuff on or off. Now, to some, it's a game changer. To some, it's a nothingness. But it's available now, and it's priced at $7 US. Available only for PC from the developer's website, and it's pending approval inside the.
Big switch, good buddy.
It's what's it called? It's they're pending approval from the Microsoft Flight Sim store. Do you know what I mean? Jesus, lads, a whole load of things have just happened. We just got raided. Rapunzel's in the house. Welcome in, my dude. Welcome in, raiders. There's a whole load of emotes, and the bot's having but I think they're just emotes. I hope you're well. Rapunzel, welcome in. And welcome in to Rapunzel's community. Hope you guys had a great flight. Were you flying in the 777? No? Really? But you're all very welcome in. Hope you're having a great day. And I hope you had a great stream. You're in the 777. I still haven't flown it. We're just catching up with all this week's Flight Sim news. There is a lot of it. We're nearly there now. And we're going to have to go into tomorrow to show off some aircraft, I think. And it's been a super busy week with Expo. And unfortunately, the emotes don't seem to be working in, but I can see it all there, lads. Thank you very, very much indeed for joining us. Very, very kind. It is I, Murph, or Two-Tone Murphy, that Egypt over here. And you're very, very welcome in. Thanks for all the follows. Rapunzel, thank you so much for bringing your community over. My dude. And guys, if you haven't already, do check out Rapunzel's Twitch channel. Awesome flights. Always fun. And we usually, the last time we raided you, I think was just before our landing. No pressure at all, right? But anyway, this is the story here when it comes to taboo. As I said, you're either on one side or the other. It's still something that enhances or has the potential to enhance the sim, because you can turn stuff off that you may not be using. And this is important, especially if you're on a lower end machine. We can argue until the cats come home, this should have been a default option. Sure, but it wasn't. And Parallel 42 spent time and money developing this. They're a business. They saw the gap. We're going to make it. And to be honest, anything, it may not be for you, but I'd like to see these options. I mean, put it this way, right? If you're on your sim and it can't handle a certain aircraft, and all of a sudden with this add-on you can turn off screens and stuff, and suddenly the add-on is now flyable, is that a bad thing? Right? So yeah, interesting stuff, right? Interesting stuff. But yes, Parallel 42 has to make money. Indeed. But yeah, Brett plays. Hey, Brett, good to see you, man. You're very welcome in. But yeah, listen, that was the story. Now, Say Intentions, we actually got in front of Say Intentions down at their booth. This is my booth over at Expo. So much stuff is happening at Say Intentions. Beyond ATC were there as well. And you know what? I kind of felt a little bit sorry for them. Well, I didn't feel sorry for them. They're making an awesome product. But they had a way lesser presence than Say Intentions. Beyond ATC were kind of tucked away in the corner. Say Intentions were all over the shop, right? They had a big, massive booth, and the queues of people getting into them was massive. And it's only because, and I said this when we were interviewing them, they're trying to put so much functionality into their product, right? And the biggest news here that we got, they have reduced the cost of their product from $29.95 a month to $19.95 a month. Saves you $120 a year. It's a per month subscription. And they're going to do a retroactive back to June 7th for anyone else who rambles in. This is AI ATC, Say Intentions, and it's very, very good. It also works with X-Plane, and there's also a whole load of features being pushed into this product. It's still mad expensive. 20 quid a month is a lot. It is. But at least now it's not 30 quid a month. It's going the right direction. And we were told, was it Brian? We were told that he said he can see another saving happening this year. They're confident they're going to get another saving this year. Say Intentions is very, very good. I'll give another demo of this. Maybe next week we'll look at both of them again, see how they're stacking up. But I have to say, it's very welcome news. And just chatting to them and what they're working on, including this new AI cabin crew, the addition furthers Say Intention's AI goal to be a one-stop shop for all your AI in flight sim, not just ATC. Users will be able to choose from multiple crews and receive completely unique, unscripted, dynamic announcements throughout their flight, and the team hopes that this will further their goal in building a completely dynamic AI living world for simming, while at the same time increasing the value of their now reduced subscription. This is awesome! More of this, please. More of the prices coming down. At the same time of the prices coming down, features are going up. Brilliant, right? Brilliant. So really excited about that. Now, nearly last, moving over here to Sergio Costa over at Helisimmer. Ryan Aerospace brought their new Robinson Helimod to FlightSim Expo. I was looking at this. This was class looking, right? So it's, we'll talk about it here now, right? Oh, Jesus, bring back the screen. Here we go. It's a brand new product and you can try it out. Ryan Aerospace have been busy, especially in the military market, but also the company providing solutions for civilian markets. In their latest move towards the market, Ryan Aerospace launching a new product aimed at Robinson helicopters. And Gold Coast Australia, Ryan Aerospace Australia, leaders in mixed reality and virtual reality for a pilot training solution, will be launching the latest product at FSExpo. Ryan produced a Robinson-styled Helimod and will be displayed for the very first time at the event. The device builds on the success of the proven Helimod Mark III, utilising many of the parts and sub-assemblies. The single-seat simulator has a unique Robinson-style T-bar cyclic, replica pedals and collective, with the controls all in the correct place, and with virtual reality headset donned, it's hard not to feel that you're sitting in a real Robinson helicopter. It's perfect for the ab initio training, procedural tasks, airspace, airfield familiarization, hover training, and even some emergency procedures. Chris Ryan, owner and founder, said the initial device is solely made as a virtual reality trainer, but we will expand this over time by adding switch and engine panels. Pretty cool. No prices. I did see the thing there. It was very, very popular. So it's basically a cockpit of, like, it's a home cockpit, right? Now they're using VR, so let's see where they go from that. Thought it was interesting. Now we're nearly there. Moving on, Nimbus Simulations. They've announced the Boeing 707, Charlotte, and also a mission editor for X-Plane 12. Now, I managed to get in front of Philip from X-Plane. I said hello to Austin as well. But Philip was telling me all about the cool stuff in X-Plane 12, in particular the weather system, which is intriguing to say the least. I've just installed the most recent update for X-Plane, so I need to check that out probably over the weekend, right? And where is this now? Let me see. Jesus, Warhamster, the bots are going mad. Let me see here now. I'll fix that. Sorry, Hammy. So anyway, X-Plane is doing some cool stuff, and Nimbus Simulation talking about a 707 and so on. Let's have a look. So, Nimbus Simulations took to the stage at Expo to showcase their full portfolio of aircraft and scenery for X-Plane, including a Bell UH-1 helicopter, an Islander, and the popular Kennedy Airport. Main reason for Nimbus taking to the stage was to speak about the next steps of the development team and their focuses for the foreseeable future. A Boeing 707. Santiago teased and shocked the room with another announcement in the Nimbus hangar by way of the old smoky gas guzzler, the Boeing 707. With a video trailer, the 707 was seen in metallic American airline colours flying across the X-Plane sky within X-Plane 12. Look at some of the pictures. It looks gorgeous. And like, wasn't that the original jumbo? Wasn't the 707 the original jumbo jet? I think it was. It looks very nice, doesn't it? The renditions here are absolutely gorgeous. Stunning, lads. Stunning. Then they also went on and talked about a Charlotte Douglas International. Again, this looks very, very good. Like, this is X-Plane scenery. The pictures don't really do it justice here because it's taken from the main screen. Finally, as a moderately important footnote, Santiago announced that Nimbus Simulations will begin to develop for Microsoft Flight Simulator in the very, very near future. It was the original US airline jet, not a jumbo. Okay. Exciting news though for X-Plane. Now the mission editor, where is this now? Let's see. Where is the mission editor? Charlotte, yes. Where's the mission stuff? Here we go. The main reason for coming in, starting with the Pilot Challenge Mission Creator, which gives you the ability to create missions within X-Plane on the fly. The tool gives you the ability to select, position, and interact with aircraft, targets, effects like fire and smoke to give an added level of excitement to virtual flying. The tool utilizes an external user interface that bridges with the X-Plane system to make creation of these missions as easy and straightforward. That's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. Anyway, VATSIM have announced a new Elite Wings event. Elite Wings. So, Virtual Traffic Network VATSIM have announced their latest event series for sim pilots, Elite Wings. The new series comes with the tagline, Conquer the Skies, Master the Challenge, aimed at experienced pilots only. The network say the series will see pilots tackling challenging airports with tough approaches, busy airspaces, and large airport layouts. The Elite Wings events are set to push your abilities to the limit and provide an unforgettable flying experience. Sounds like an exciting new addition to the already popular Virtual Traffic Network. The free-to-use multiplayer network enables users to simulate both the role of ATC and the pilot. Other well-known events thrown in by the network includes Cross the Pond, which we got a date I think for October, and also Cross the Land. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Who's up for that one, lads? Who's up for that one, right? And let's see. Any updates for FireFly Air? Not that I'm aware of. Kieran has been flat out. We'll have a quick look there now. Speaking of VATSIM, any events coming up over the next couple of days? There is. So if we rumble over here to Saturday. Where are you now? The one on Saturday. There is a First Wings event happening on Saturday. If you're interested, they're going to be flying out of Tallinn in Estonia, and they're going to be flying to Vilnius in Lithuania. A First Wings event, if you are new to ATC, or maybe you've done some of our course and you haven't finished it, or you have finished it and you just want to do a bit of practice, this is for you. Jump onto the First Wings event and you'll have a lot of fun. Test Pilot is here. Good to see you. So that's happening on Saturday, June 29th, between 1700 and 2000 Zulu, flying out of Tallinn, Echo Tango November, and you're rambling over to Vilnius in Lithuania, Echo Yankee Victor India. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then the last little bit here before we go, we'll have to ramble over to our FireFly Air. Let's have a look at our stats console. FireFly Air is our virtual airline. It's free to join. Everything about it is free. Every time you go flying, you generate some points. We have some stats. We have leaderboards. So we'll go in and have a quick look at the leaderboards and see how this has been progressing over the last week. I'm also working on an overhaul for the leaderboards. We got a bit of feedback there over the over the last couple of weeks and months. We're getting feedback, so we're looking at different ways of you know how better utilize the leaderboard. Maybe there's bonus points, all this kind of jazz. We'll have a look. Hello Viz, good to see you. Murph, I thought I read VATSIM doing something for the 777. Yes, they are, 100%. It's the launch event, Love is. We covered that at the start, but yeah, they are. So as you can see, Viper Strike is there. Sean Dale, MDA, Paparazzi, and Restoring are all in Viper's Premier ship. Quasar Core, Belbro, Filthy, Toto, and the Limbics are working hard with Reckless Rage just behind. Sterling Moss, way ahead. Tiger Shark, Cy Murray, Kahari, and Andy Brown. Rambog is just there as well, and so on and so on. We also have our where is it now? The VATSIM stats, which is slowly but surely getting updated, but everyone flying now on VATSIM, and this is tracking our VATSIM pilot. So we can see MDA leading us there on VATSIM, just over 6,000 points. And we can see that Rambok Mord has put in almost 30 hours, Dougal just behind him, and so on. It's looking very, very good indeed. So fair play to you, lads. I really do appreciate you for using the networks. We can see that most of the country visits are in the UK. Ireland is in second place, with Sweden, Germany, France, and Australia. And then the United States, New Zealand, Belgium, and Canada. These are flights that are tracked on VATSIM by our virtual airline, and it is great to see. This is great to see. And most popular routes are Dublin over to what's Golf Whiskey? Jesus, I can't think. What's Golf Whiskey? Is that what's the word? The place Luton? Is it? Is it Luton? It's Luton. It's Luton. Sound. And then we have Luton up to Newcastle. But again, every time you fly in VATSIM under FireFly Air and you're connecting to to landing rate monitor, it'll track all your flights. Pretty cool is that, right? So that kind of covers, lads. I did want to go through aircraft with you. I'm sat here with the 777. To be fair, the world and his mother has streamed this aircraft. You probably don't need me now to go in and show you. The sim is loading because I left it parked up for way too long. Let's see if it bounces back. There are 3 aircraft releases that I was meant to show. One is this, and of course we have the Huey and we have the T6. So it's been very busy. We've been live for almost 4 hours now, and I've work in the morning. So what we might do, lads, tomorrow, we might do an extended one, or we might keep the aircraft even into next week. I plan to be covering these aircraft at some stage over the next few days with our live streams. I haven't put out any information, but there will be live streams. Our normal live streams will happen on Friday, starting off at 1900 Zulu time. So here is the 777 parked here in Shannon. And it's all terribly stuttery because I left the thing paused for too long. That's interesting. It looks fantastic, right? There's a lot of cool stuff with this airplane. It just looks deadly. It's beautifully modelled. You know what I'm saying? It just looks the job, and it's going to be something that I absolutely want to spend a lot of time in. I mean, look at the wing, look. Do you know what I mean? Look at the state of it, right? But yeah, we will spend a lot of time in this, and if those of you who have the 777, and you know, I'll probably take this out for a spin on flightsim soon, and I just need to fly it. I have not flown this aircraft yet. You know what I mean? Look at the video. What's this now? Archer, look at that video. Can watch Murph from 37,000 feet on my way home. Right, brilliant. But yeah, it's PMDG, from what I can see, have done an absolute cracking job with this. And yes, the price is dear. I find it a little bit expensive. It doesn't take away from how good the product is, even though we sim is stuttering here like mad. You have to kind of realize we are probably very, very close to Flight Sim 2024. And this aircraft releasing just now, we're talking 5 months before we potentially have to put our hands in our pockets to pay for an updated price. I don't know where the stance is from PMDG. If they're going to be charging for an update. I didn't see anything. The last time I saw a comment from PMDG about if they're going to charge for an update, they said we'll have to have a look at the SDK. So I'm unsure, lads. If you were to buy this now, are you going to be expected to throw another, you know, $20 into an upgrade price? I would much rather that be announced and confirmed before you have to buy it, because it's 70 quid. It's 77 quid. It's not cheap, right? Not cheap at all. $77.73 or something, wasn't it? Black Box streamer in real life 787 dual type rating 777 has streamed it twice now. Can recommend checking out the VODs. Thanks, Sterling. Yeah. Black Box, huge friend, huge friend of the channel. Black Box is sound. His dad used to fly F-104s. His dad used to fly the F-104 Star. What are they? Starfire? Yeah. 77 or 56 Great British pounds. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Now I don't want to do it. I can't use so much money on a virtual plane. Well, the thing is, right? The thing is, if it's an aircraft you're going to get the use out of. Already paid the upgrade fee. Huh. If it's an aircraft you're going to get the use out of, it's not that terribly expensive. Let me kind of follow that up. Let's say, for example, you want to go for a meal. You want to go out in the town or out for a couple of pints and a meal. That's just one night. You will have this for however long you keep the sim. That's just a way of putting these things into perspective. What is expensive for me may not be for you, and vice versa. It's all relative. I think for the price, you really want to have this aircraft. And bearing in mind, this is the 300. She's not the freighter. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's entirely up to you. But anyone, as I said, leave it with me. You know, it's once I get my head around where we're at. I'd like to do something soon when we do our flight. I'm going to plan a ferry flight, and I'm going to see what we can do in terms of giveaways and all that jazz as well. So leave that with me. All right. I, of course, will do both the meal and the plane, because that's how bad decision making works. I love that planet neutral. I love it. But yeah, let's see what happens as I say. So from the menu, we'll just jump back. I just want to give you a quick visual look at the. I hope this works now. It doesn't crash, because I do want to check out the Huey and the T6. I won't get a chance tonight, lads, because it's shocking late. It's just been so busy on the news. But I hope you've enjoyed it so far and you're now up to date with all the things that have happened. I want to thank you all so very, very much for tuning in and keeping me company. We'll have a quick look here if this loads, just at the Huey in the hangar, and we can do the same then with the T6. That's at the same loads. It may not because it was kind of parked up, you know. Bloody smashing to have you back, Murph. Night to night all, strong of all. Thank you very much, Hummingbird. You're very kind. And absolutely fantastic to be back. I've missed you something fierce. And I'm only back for 4 weeks and then I'm gone again. But yeah, this doesn't seem to be loading. So right, we won't worry about it too much, lads. We shall call it there because I've been working the morning. I'll be back at some stage tomorrow. I know the lads are doing VATSIM tomorrow night. I'm not ready to do VATSIM tomorrow, unfortunately. But if I get a chance, maybe we can jump on when the lads are doing VATSIM and I can showcase these other aircraft. Oh, look, it's loading up now, look. No, I don't trust that. Oh no, it loaded. Ah, brilliant. Right, hang on, I'll show you this now quickly. Options, no. Profile, yes. Content hanger, yes. Diddle-diddle-diddle. Profile, hanger. Yes, so there's the 777. Change aircraft. Right, so let's just look at the UH. There we go. Look at the cut of this thing now, right? There we go. Look at the absolute state of this. So here's the Huey. I mean, doesn't that look absolutely class, doesn't it? Hang on a second here now. It just looks absolutely deadly now. Hang on. Hang on, this'll work. Yes! Let's check out the liveries. Rescue, the shark, death from above. Isn't that the one from whatchamacallit? Love the smell of napalm in the morning. Smells like victory. Look at the state of it. And my frame rates are terrible because the sim, you know, I left it paused. But doesn't it look absolutely class, doesn't it? Look at the detailing on this. It looks absolutely stunning. So we'll play around with this in a day or two. And then the other aircraft I wanted to check out, of course, was the T6. Let's have a look here now. T6A. No. Texan. I don't know. That's all Iris. I don't want the Iris one. Jesus. T6. There we go. Blackbird simulations. Back. Let's have a look at this. We can change the liveries out here as well. So we have US Airport. Oh, jeez, there's a ton of US Air Force ones. Let me see. Let's load in the Royal. Oh, look at that. Jeez, that's class looking, isn't it? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And again, just like the state of this. Look at the detailing on this, lads. Isn't that absolutely incredible? Isn't it just absolutely incredible detailing? It's stunning. This thing is absolutely stunning. As I use my head tracking as well. But you get the idea of just how much detail has gone into this. And this is a study level aircraft. When you have Blackbird Simulation saying it's their most ambitious and high fidelity aircraft to date, that's a statement, lads. You know what I mean? That is a huge statement to make. So it looks stunning, doesn't it? Absolutely stunning. So we're going to be flying this over the coming days just to give you a look of what it's all about. But I think, I mean, look at the interior. Like, when you see the textures, look, absolutely gorgeous. Now, I know it's dark, but like, look at the state of it. And you can fly this thing from either seat. It's just stunning, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. And what was the other aircraft then we want to look at as well? There's a ton of stuff we need to show off. Oh, the Cub. But I show you the Cub. Do you see the Cub? What was she? A C3, wasn't it? Or no, it was J3. It was a J3 Cub. J3. There we go. Look at this. Look at this little thing. And let me see. Liveries. So look at this. Clean, standard, or white. Isn't that a little beauty, isn't it? We'll go with the dirty standard because it just looks fantastic, right? Look at the cut of this, lads. Look at the detailing on it. Isn't that something else? It's an absolutely stunning little plane, this. Wooden propeller and everything. Ah, Jesus, it's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, look, a ton of aircraft on the way. We're going to be checking them out over the coming days. And yeah, lots of fun to have, including the 777 and hopefully the MD-11 as well. I need to get my hands on that. But I want to thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in. To everyone on YouTube, thank you so much, lads, for all the likes, for clicking that little button. It does help out the stream something fierce because it recommends it to other people, and all the new subscribes there as well. For everyone here on Twitch, thank you all so very much indeed. All the raids we got, massive thank you for all the raids, all the follows and the subscribes, all the bits. Your generosity tonight has been absolutely incredible. And this is our first stream back after FlightSim Expo. Still lots more to cover, including all the antics that I got, you know what I mean, I got up to. We'll save that for Friday night. A couple of stories with me and Kando, and also Adam, and indeed Jepson as well. We got into, well, we didn't get into trouble, but like, you know what I mean, we're up to no good. But yeah, I'm going to bed. I'm back in work tomorrow. Fingers crossed now, lads, the Skoda isn't completely shagged, you know what I mean? But thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in, and sure, we'll be back tomorrow at some stage, you know what I mean? So you got into a lot of fun. I got into a lot of fun, indeed, and I did. Oh, Scott was there as well. He kept us on the straight and narrow, you know, for the most part, and then we dragged him into the messing as well. Right. as your one there, as she appeared earlier on. Right, you know. So right, I'll see you tomorrow now. Thanks for tuning in, and you take care. We're doing a thing, right? We're almost supersonic. Well, we're only at 400 knots. That was the most cinematic anticlimax ever. Yeah, but hang on, give it time. There's still, we're doing it. Ah, you're gonna miss the ground, you big ape. Hang on. Bank angle. And the mics are all live, right? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go! Ah, Jesus, I got away slow! Come on!